to, man, what a baseball game last night. Yes, I actually am a little tired today. I'm not going to lie. I stayed up till the end. I couldn't turn it off. I did, and then took a while to fall asleep afterwards because it was, it was just my brain was racing. Didn't really have a dog in the fight. Honestly, I don't even know whether I care who wins or loses this series, but I could not turn away from that. Just epic theater last night. Just incredibly fun baseball to watch. As a kind of a bunch of thoughts on it, but as a Mariner fan, I wonder if a game like that helped bring baseball back into your life. I know that in 2003, and I've made some of that comp before of what happened in Game 7 here a week or so ago, and what happened in 2003 with Grady Little. I couldn't watch that World Series. I'm really, really glad that the Marlins won it. Thank you to Josh Beckett and the rest of that 2003 Marlins crew. It was nice that even after all of that, the Yankees were so battered and beaten that they just ended up, finally crumbling to Josh Beckett's mastery in that World Series. But it was really hard to watch. Like I needed time off from baseball. And I was last night with a buddy of mine who's a huge Mariner fan, huge baseball fan. And this guy, Ben, is like, yeah, I couldn't watch. I don't want to watch. Like, I need some time off of baseball after what I just endured during the postseason and especially in Game 7. And I don't blame him. Totally understand that line of thinking. But hopefully along the way, maybe somebody told you about it, maybe social media, maybe you got curious, whatever. I hope you ended up coming to that game last night at some point. As hard as baseball may be right now as a Mariner fan, right? You're able to start to turn the page, start to think about the brightness of the future, start to think about some of the fun of everything that you just experienced over the course of the last 7 months of baseball and say, all right, that was just epic. That was just great. As a baseball fan last night, I feel like last night showed me so many of the things that are tremendous and important about baseball. Number one, we don't need ghost runners in baseball. You don't need the ridiculous runner on second base to start extra innings. Drama is created with length in baseball. That is part of what makes this sport great.
But do you want to stay up for 18-inning games all the time?
It's not. Were we before? That's like the fourth or fifth extra inning or 18-inning game I've watched in my life. In my life. I don't mind every 4 or 5 years having an 18-inning game. I think it's great. I think it's great for the sport. I think it's great for baseball, great for viewers, great for attention. I love it. Who didn't enjoy last night's game? I thought it was
great,
wonderful.
But I'm fine for saving that for the playoffs.
I absolutely disagree. That is solving a problem that does not exist. We are solving a problem that no one had. And then one day they said, hey, let's throw a runner on second base and make fake baseball starting in the 10th inning. Don't get it. Last night shows exactly why baseball was just fine without it. Number two, it is absolutely why we continue to need the pitch clock. What a wonderful invention the pitch clock is. I was nervous about it. I wondered whether or not it would be able to maintain all of the drama that has always existed, and especially postseason baseball. And it is 100% necessary, mandatory, couldn't live without it. That game last night was 6 hours and 39 minutes with the pitch clock. Can you imagine if it didn't have the pitch clock last night? You'd probably have to add an extra 20 minutes to half hour, don't you think? Maybe more? I mean, depending on how obnoxious those teams would have been with, coming out to the mound and checking, all the things that went into it, baseball before the pitch clock and the mound visit limits. Thank God that we have the pitch clock now. I think it's been one of the great inventions in baseball and saved us to a degree last night. Third thing, and I know this is a hot topic, especially on the East Coast, and I do feel bad for folks. I mean, it ended at 11:50 our time here on the West Coast. Obviously, that's 2:50 on the East Coast and in Toronto, where I'm sure there was a huge group of people watching. 2:50 is untenable, and I understand that that's terrible. But I will also say that it is memorable, incredibly memorable. And I don't know what your situation was last night. I don't know how you ended up watching that game. For me, well, like a lot of baseball games at this period of my life, it was bouncing around First, I was watching on my computer while doing a little work. Then I was watching at the bar at the Kraken Ice Complex as I was there watching Cecily's practice. And then we were listening in the car. And then I was watching at home. And then I decided to go upstairs and brush my teeth. And I continued to watch on my phone so that I would be ready to go to bed as soon as the game ended. Not that I could do that. But one thing I definitely did is I did not make my kids go to bed. You sit up here and watch. This is history. This is incredible. This is special. Watching a memorable baseball game like this is more important to me than whether or not they have every minute of sleep necessary for one more day of school tomorrow. And for everybody who says, oh, well, the kids can't stay up to watch these games. Okay, at some point, my kids both gave up, to be fair. Right near the end, too. They both gave up, and then, oh, my poor wife went upstairs to brush her teeth, missed a home run. Terrible. But I would hope that when you let your kids stay up for games like that, for big, memorable games, it creates those core memories and a positive association with baseball. You want to know how to keep more baseball fans long term? It's not to say, oh, they have to watch every inning. It's got to start at 4 p.m. and this. No, it's to let them stay up and let your kids enjoy it and make them feel like it's a special, memorable, almost holiday-like event. And so if they get to stay up later, great. Yeah, you might pay for it the next day, but what if everybody gains from it long term? Because we've got more baseball fans and more people that think it's awesome to have games like last night. And then finally, baseball is just unmatched in terms of the amount of tension it can create. I just really enjoyed that baseball game. It was nice being able to watch it without a dog in the fight. I honestly, I know Brock was trying to figure out, hey, who do you think you want to win? I really don't care. Really don't. I think I kind of found myself rooting for the Dodgers last night, but that might have just been to end the game because they had last ups. Like, hey, if they get a run, this thing's over, I get to go to bed. I think I was rooting for the Dodgers, but I don't even know. Like, I could kind of give you either side of that one. I just know it was just great to watch that game. And then I do wake up a little bit today, and I do turn on ESPN Radio and all the other shows. And it is a little bit of a bummer how much of sports media is so set up to handle the 12-month-a-year, 365-day-a-year NFL that just doesn't quit, that turns out storylines every minute of every day. And so much of what's, exists in sports media is built to cover it, understandably. I mean, I've been in management in this business. I understand that you got to give people what they want, and the NFL is king. But it is sad that on a day like today, where we watch one of the great games ever played in baseball, where Shohei Ohtani puts on one of the greatest performances ever in a baseball game, where there's just so many wonderful, great, interesting conversations to go back and forth about. And look, we're going to talk some football today, too. I'm not saying it shouldn't be talked about. It's still a huge thing. I want to talk some Seahawks today. I'm pumped about where the Seahawks are right now. And I do want to get back to the local element of baseball. And we do have some Mariner conversations about where they're going, But I do wish we were a little bit more set up to take advantage of days like yesterday. So we'll try to get to some of that over the course of the morning because I just loved it. Just loved that baseball game last night. I'll give you one quick take, short take. I think they're going to have to move Shohei out of the leadoff spot. In fact, I feel pretty strongly about it. And I'm not saying that needs to happen forever, but John Schneider is not going to pitch to him again this series. Why would he? Why would you ever pitch to this guy again? If he continues to come up with nobody on base, you're just going to walk him every time. Heck, he basically walked him last night with a man on first. I mean, he threw him 4 pitches, but none of them were anywhere close to the strike zone, and I'm pretty sure he was under strict orders not to go anywhere near where Shohei could hit it. The only way you're going to get Shohei to see any more pitches you can't do it by, quote-unquote, protecting him. That's not going to work. Even having Mookie Betts, an MVP behind him, and Freddie Freeman, doesn't matter. You got to put players on base in front of him so that they have no choice but to pitch to him or load the bases. So I personally would absolutely, I don't think you can have Shohei coming up behind the 8 and 9 guy. Unless you think really, you're positive those guys are going to do a better job getting on base. So that's my one big take. I'd move Shohei if I were the Dodgers. I can barely talk. You guys got me. My voice is gone. It's only been 8 minutes. Let me take a break. We'll come back, give you guys everything you need to know. And we got about a million more cool things today. Jeff Passan, what a great day to have Jeffrey. That's coming up at 8:30. It's Brock and Salk. Sales Sports on 710.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
What a ball game last night. Dodgers and Blue Jays staging an absolute classic. 18 innings, 19 pitchers, throwing 609 pitches. The threat of position players on the mound, lots of managerial decisions to second guess. Oh my gosh, just keep going. Vlad's heroics with the bat, his arm, his legs. Shohei going 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 walks, 4 of them intentional, and reaching base 9 times, which had never happened, well, at least since the 1940s. 8 2/3 scoreless innings from Eric Lauer and Will Klein. I'm sure everybody had them in their World Series hero list. But in the end, it was a very old face, a guy who's familiar with the spotlight, Freddie Freeman. Hero once again.
Little ready, kicks, steals. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Varsho back, near the wall, at the track, gone! Freddie Freeman! A home run to center field. Freeman walks it off in the 18th. Oh, Freddie delivers.
Sure does. It was one of those games, or one of those hits where, you know, it looked good off the bat, but you'd seen, 2 other balls that looked like they might have been home run balls that just kind of died right at the warning track. Wasn't sure if that one was going to get out. It did. Afterwards, I think he was pretty happy it was over.
What was it like to play in that game?
Oh, my gosh. It was awesome because we won.
Yeah, I bet other than that, not a tremendous amount of fun, but obviously it does end with a Dodger victory. Game 4 will be tonight. No idea how they're going to get through the bullpens in this one. Shohei Ohtani, after everything he did last night, is going to pitch tonight for the Dodgers, because of course he is. He will throw against Shane Bieber. I'm just really enjoying it. I said earlier, I do think you got to maybe think about moving Shohei out of the leadoff spot. I know that they want to get him as many at-bats as possible. Totally understand that. And it would be horrible for the game to end with him in the on-deck circle. But at the moment, it won't matter because everyone's just going to walk him every time. So you, I think, need to put more runners on base in front of Shohei. Might be the only way you can get him to come to the plate.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, let's see. Seahawks starting their prep for Washington. They practiced yesterday, and they'll get the Commanders coming off a short week because they got spanked last night by the Chiefs. Couple turnovers from Marcus Mariota, who probably won't be playing on Sunday, as Jaden Daniels is likely to return. Does sound like they could be without receiver Terry McLaurin as well. He left the game with a quad injury, same one that's been bothering him and kept him out a few weeks already this week. On the other side of it, the Chiefs are very good.
2nd and 6. Mahomes, end zone, caught by Kelsey. Touchdown.
Yeah, really good day for those two, as the Chiefs seem to have kind of gotten it back together. One other note, playing the Commanders, I assume this is the last time we'll see Bobby Wagner play against the Seahawks, so just another small thing to watch. Could see the return of Robbie Oots this week, which is great. Rookie fullback designated to return to practice after spending some time on IR.
Well, I think we've majored in 12 personnel, 13 personnel when we put, two core guys in the game when we're in, one or two receiver sets. Brady's done a great job, in the fullback type of role. So we'll see how the game plan shakes out, but Robbie provides more two-back flexibility than probably we've had.
Which is great. I mean, I just would love to see even more of that and see if they're able to punish teams and come downhill at them. I do think it benefits, especially Zach Charbonnet, to be in those two-back systems and to just run straight at them and let Robbie Oots open up some holes. Really thought that was going to be a big part of the offense this year. Saw it a little bit early in the season, but would love to see a whole lot more. And that run game, as Mike McDonald will tell you, is crucial.
It's everything, and I think we're on the right track. We have a probably better focus, better understanding of what we do well and what we don't do as well, how we build things, who's out there, that sort of thing. But I think we don't need wholesale changes. We need to keep attacking it. There's detail involved. There's operation involved. Game plan, scheme, kind of all the above is room for improvement, and I think we saw last game we took a stride. We just got to keep moving in that direction.
Well, and I would also like to hope that just having a week off to just rest the body, focus, refocus the mind. Hopefully those things will help the running game, which really right now is the only thing you'd point at as not being kind of where you'd want it to be. Amazing considering the amount of time and energy spent on it in the off season.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I don't know if people have been paying attention yet, but the Kraken are off to a very nice start. More points in the standings than they've played games, which is great. Quality victories, too, over good teams, Vegas, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and maybe more than anything, a style that I think is a little bit more rugged, a little bit more physical. They do appear to be very well coached for the first time in a while. Disciplined, they play hard. And they're doing all that without multiple top players. Jared McCann is out. Capo Caco is out. So, I think the hope is that as some of this starts to fade, that some of those reinforcements will come in and, really help the team long term. They are back at it tonight at home hosting Montreal. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. 206 texting in, hey, I appreciate the National Baseball talk. I hope you continue to do it. I feel like a part of the Mariner fan base could really benefit from a look on the other side of the fence once in a while. I think I understand that. I don't know whether, talking about a World Series game does that, but I do think it's helpful for any sports fan, not Mariner fan or Seahawks fan, Seattle fan, any fan, anywhere, to have a little bit of perspective on what everybody else deals with, because it can start to feel personal. It can start to feel like certain things only happen to you or your team or your city. And, the reality is it kind of, a lot of people go through it. Not everything that Seattle has, obviously, having never made the World Series, is a unique challenge, and it's awful, and it's hopefully going to change at some point sooner rather than later. But it is nice, I think, to kind of see the game and understand and put it all in context. And I think when you do, you realize Mariners had a really good team this year. I think we all knew that, which was what made this whole thing really fun. All right. Brock will be in a little bit. Jeff Passan, what a great day to have Jeff Passan. We will chat with him at 8:30. At 9:30, Daniel Jeremiah. Up next, an interview I actually listened to yesterday as I had a nice day off. I thought Matt Hasselbeck was great and offered some really compelling insight into what the Seahawks are doing, why they're doing it. And ultimately, he led me to make a statement that I will give to you guys at 7:30 that I think is, telling about where the season is and where it's going to go. That's coming up on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside to Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com. With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Selling cars is a really easy business. It's complicated by really bad dealers. And why do we do that? Well, because we think that the less information we give and the more that we can dictate it on our terms, the more profitable we'll be. And what we found is that this is the exact opposite. The easier we make it, the more information we give, the more comfortable customers are in doing business with us. Now, that one transaction, we might make a little bit less on, but it's not the one. It's that one that leads to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. It's not the one individual. He's like, but you never get to the spouse, the parents, the kids, the friends, if you don't take care of them first.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I've been looking forward to this all weekend long. I try to, you know this, Brady, maybe too much so. You know, I just try to lay it all bare, be as transparent as I can. I'm not good at holding stuff close to the vest. So I'm going to just put it all out there before we get going here in full swing with Hasselbeck. I'm trying to broker a deal, Brady.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, trying to broker a deal between Valor Christian and Ensworth, playing a home and home, right? And Matt's a hard negotiation. Matt's wanting a lot of money for Ensworth to come play. He's trying to sandbag me and say, I don't know if we can compete. And Matt, why don't we just get the deal done right now on the air? What do you think?
I wish I had that kind of authority. Brock, I'm only the offensive coordinator. I don't know your title. I think you're like tight ends coach or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so listen, my brother, Tim, is my boss. He's my little brother. He's the head coach.
All right.
But no, listen, we're it's not a no, man. You know, like I just don't want it to. I know how competitive you are. Like I don't want anything to come between us in the relationship. You know, like I don't like. There's running clock here in Tennessee, so like I don't know what it's like in Colorado, but if we have you guys up by too much, you know, it's like that whole thing. You know,
Is it 42 points in Tennessee? It's 42 here in Colorado. You get up by
it's
42.
like a slide. It's like a sliding scale, I think. Like in the first half, it's this, and if it's although I should know because someone had us on a running clock this year as well.
So,
If we had one of those, as Mike Holmgren would say, we played a stinker one night on Friday night. So
it happens. Well, the Seahawks have not had many stinkers, Matt, this year. They've gotten off to a good start, and Brady and I did kind of our first half takeaways as to why they've gotten off to a 5-2 start here, and even in both those games had every chance to win them and have been, you know, playing really, really well. Just before we dig into some of the cast of characters, just from your optics, you came out as one of the legends for these Seahawks. You've gotten to see them and watch them. I know you talk to Cowherd quite frequently about these Seahawks. From your perspective, why do you think they sit atop the NFC West at 5-2 right now?
Well, they've got a clear identity of who they're trying to be. And I think they, you know, got off track a little bit week one. I think if you look at week one, it really was, I don't know if you call it a stinker, but like they let one slip away to the 49ers. Ever since that game, I feel like they've had a clear picture of who they're trying to be. And it's been awesome. I mean, Sam Darnold coming in, having the kind of year that he's having, you know, I think a lot of people were saying, oh, this was a bad sign, like in the national scene. They're like, oh, they're remembering him from the Jets, remembering him from early in his career. And they said, oh, it was a one-hit wonder and all this and all that. And he's gone out and shown that he's, you know, he's really an impressive quarterback. I think one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year. So, like, I think that's a huge part of it. But defense has been great. Run game, when they don't forget about it's been great. And, you know, off to a good start. Still competitive, but I think they've got a great schedule this year. And I really think this is a team to be excited about.
Hey, Matt, Brady Henderson here. Good to talk to you. One of the reasons why the Seahawks made that move with Darnold, in addition to obviously what you see on the field, is getting that guy in the locker room and that kind of leader. And I know that was a big part of the evaluation, is the kind of leader that Sam is. And you know, one of the things that I've heard him described as is, in the locker room, he's just one of the guys. He's a dude. What does that mean to just be one of the guys, and why is that so important for a quarterback?
I just think it means he's humble. You know, I don't know that that's always been said at the quarterback position on every team. Maybe that team too. I don't know. I wasn't in there, but humility is attractive, probably in any business, especially when you're getting paid as much as quarterbacks are getting paid these days. But really, like, if we think about it, Sam Darnold wasn't in the plans for the Seahawks. They were running it back with Geno Smith. I mean, that was the plan. And then things went a little south. Feelings got hurt in the contract negotiation. Maybe humility went away a little bit. Pete Carroll all of a sudden is the head coach in Las Vegas with the Raiders. And, hey, Geno, you're my guy. However that went down, it went down kind of it was a surprise. It was a surprise. All of a sudden, Geno's gone. DK Metcalf's gone. Lockett's gone. Like, it's a new OC. All this change. And then the Seahawks were saying, okay, hey, wait, now we need a quarterback. What are we going to do? We're going to do it in the draft. We're going to do it in free agency. Let's go out and get the top guy in free agency. And what I love about Sam Darnold is he's still a young player, but he's a guy with a ton of NFL experiences and a lot of sort of bad experiences that have sort of maybe humbled him a little bit, or maybe it's already his natural, disposition. But I think the locker room respects what he's gone through as a player. They respect that he got booed out of New York. They respect that he was, buried on the depth chart at other places. They respect how he's kind of like pulled himself out of the struggle. I think guys relate to that in the locker room. And then I think they really respect how well he's played. And he's played great. Last year he played great, and he's playing great this year.
You know who I think would have enjoyed coaching Sam Darnold? The guy you mentioned earlier, Mike Holmgren. Because he is a rhythm guy. Matt, watching every snap this year and so many of them under center, I can't help but chuckle at times oh my gosh, that's what we were doing 25 years ago. That was a hitch route thrown on third step from under center. That was a glance route. That was Dino thrown on time in that window. When you watch Sam yourself, do you see some of Matt Hasselbeck in the Seahawks offense of the early 2000s?
Yeah, well, it's back in style. That's the funny thing. Even when we did it in Seattle, I think it went out of style and then came back in style, and now it's back in style again. We were popping guards. We missed the trend. And so when people were coming with crazy third down blitzes on first and second down out of an odd front, meaning both guards are uncovered, we never stopped popping guards. Chris Gray and Hutch, they were just, we're still popping. We'll pop into the Mike, the Sam, and we'll pop to the free safety, the corner. We'll just keep pop. And so the Seahawks have this great rhythm now where it's all this check with me stuff. We can be two tight ends. We can be in a fullback, but we're under center just as much as anybody right now. And I think a lot of the young defensive players in the league that have grown up in this spread, going against spread offenses and stuff like that, they don't have time on task. They don't have hours defending and reading run game from under center with play actions and bloody nose flats and all the different things that we did 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. It's really coming on strong right now. And I think I give Mike McDonald the credit because he had a vision for this. He had a vision for this when he retooled the offense, coaching staff and players, of what he wanted to be offensively and how it would complement the defense.
In a big picture, Matt, I want to stick with that topic of being under center, and I'll back up here just because at ESPN we have this great database where we can look up, under center versus shotgun percentages, and I can't tell you how many times last season Brock texts me and says, "Can you look up how often they've been under center?" And I don't think he liked the answer a lot because it was primarily a shotgun offense last season under Ryan Grubb. It's been flipped, and I'm curious, just from a quarterback's perspective, what really changes when you go under center for the quarterback, for the offense in general?
Well, they probably talk about it way too much on TV. They get all these stats. I got a feeling that a lot of people on TV, on the national scene, they don't watch any football. They just read stats and they're like, oh, this is what I see. It's I don't think you're watching, if we're being real, okay? But no, as a quarterback, what is different? Because sometimes it's you call the play and it's you want to go gun? Yeah, I'll go gun. Oh, no, I'll go under center. It's a little thing. But the reason that Mike Holmgren would never let us go shotgun early on, unless we had to, it's because Joe Montana said something once, and he's absolutely right. When you're under center and the ball hits your hands and you have the ball immediately after it's snapped, your eyes are on the free safety or your eyes are on the defender that you need to have them on immediately. And it's usually the free safety. But your eyes are there immediately. But when you're in shotgun and you're catching the snap, your eyes have to drop just for a second to make sure you catch the snap. And also, if we're telling the truth here, not every center is great at snapping in shotgun. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's all over the place. There's a little bit of adventure, but either way, even if it's a perfect snap, your eyes have to drop down, and you're just a half second late seeing what the free safety or the corner or whatever they're doing. And so that is a real factor. But there's also a benefit because you're way back behind, you're way back, you're 5 yards when you catch the ball. So it's a little bit of a, I don't know, there's give and take. Also, the back is typically offset right or left. There's tendencies with that. they can kind of decide what you're not going to do. But I like both. I like mixing it up. I just think that the teams that can't go under center and they're not good at going under center, I think you're just giving the defense less to worry about.
As I start to study and game plan for Ainsworth, what am I going to see? Am I going to see under center? Am I going to see in the gun? What
You're
am I
going to see – no, you're going to see old school. You're going to see like Mike Shanahan, not Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, Mike Holmgren, Jim Harbaugh. Like, we're old school. I mean, we're pulling tackles, we're pulling guards, we're under center. We have 3 fullbacks, sometimes 2 fullbacks, 7 O-linemen. We'll also go 4 wides. We'll go empty. I try to play everybody as much as we can. We try to give kids an opportunity to fail. And I do think just because I'm up in the booth and I hear how hard it is for these defensive coaches to say, like, what personnel is in the game. And, like defensive coaches, they talk about like 11 personnel or 12 personnel. Well, like what version of 12? Like which 2 tight ends, which 3 wides, which running back. And I do think like the Seahawks do a pretty good job of that too. I feel like everyone is involved in the game plan from Jake Bobo to Brady Russell to like everybody in between. They have a role. And again, I think that's makes you more difficult to defend. The defense has to spend time on stuff. And Mike McDonald realizes that. And I think he's got his hands in this offense as well.
What do you take away from your time coming back with the 50 Legends and the weekend that was? Unfortunately, it was the Buccaneer game, and it was a great offensive game. If you liked offense, it was up and down the field, and Sam and Baker both over, 80% in that game, like never done in the history of the NFL. So it was a whole bunch of offense. But even more importantly, what was it like to be back around the guys in the organization that weekend?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, the Seahawks are a first-class organization. Not every team is like that. Not every team reaches back. I think it's great for the players, obviously, who played. It was great for us to be together. I was with guys that I played with when we were in the AFC West, guys like Chad Brown and Michael Sinclair, and like guys, hadn't seen in forever. And then I was also with guys that I played with under Pete Carroll, like obviously Marshawn, but like, I guess it wasn't with Richard because of the lockout, but Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, like a lot of those guys, like Brandon Meebane. It was awesome. It was incredible. And to like have it, the fan reaction was incredible. The blue carpet, all of it. It was just really, it makes you really proud to be part of the organization. It's a huge honor to have worn that uniform and all those different uniforms, even the green ones that we wore that one time that people didn't like. It's a huge honor. So, it was really cool. And I think even just seeing in person, like what they're building there in practice, it was so different from the Mike Holmgren years, and yet very similar. And it was so different than the Pete Carroll years, and yet very similar. And so I think that just showing like, Mike McDonald is his own head coach and he's doing it sort of his own way. And I think it's really authentic and great.
Does Jackson Smith and Jigba remind you of any receiver that you played with, whether it was here in Seattle, Green Bay, anywhere else?
I want to throw names out to you, but like he's so stinking good. Like, I don't know if it's fair to him to do that. I mean, when you even just look at like Sam Darnold's touchdown reel, it's like, oh, there's JSN. Oh, there's JSN. Like, did the defense not know it was going to happen? Like, who else are you like really targeting is like the guy that, hey, here's the guy we got to take away today. Defensive coordinators usually call it like, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Like, remember those books? You had to find Waldo. He's like the one guy you got to find every play. And they move him around. So, like, he's the focal point. And yet here he is running the post. Here he is running a Dino. Here he is. Like, he's still getting open. And so, like, everyone talks about chemistry and new quarterback. And, like, they're not skipping a beat. He's a beast. He doesn't look like he should be, but he is. And so, I'm a fan. I mean, I don't know how you can't be, but is he top 3 in the NFL? Yeah, maybe. He might be. Like, he really is that good, has been that good.
I just got to ask real quick. Sorry, Brock. Dino. I know Dino's Pub across the highway from the VMAC. What's a Dino route?
The Dino route is almost as good as Dino's Pub. It's almost. It's right up there. But it's a post corner post. And like the guys who run it the best, they don't even run it like a post corner post. Like they put their own spin on it. Like for me, Darrell Jackson was that guy. JSN, he'll just kind of like spray release, widen it out, and then he'll just give him a little like a little subtle crossover dribble. But you can see the corner just loses his balance. He's like right there, but he can't make the play. It's just like this little subtle thing. And the quarterback, when you trust that he's going to win his matchup on the corner, all you're doing is worried about the safety in your eyes, and you just cut it loose. And it's cool to see. It's like a throwback play, right, Brock? Like no one runs it anymore. Not really. Nope. So it's cool to see them run it.
I got to watch you and Bobby Ingram, and you guys seem to build a chemistry so quickly, Matt. And there is some of JSN's game that is Bobby. Strong, low to the ground, unbelievable, just spatial awareness and feel. And then he's got what Bobby, I don't think, had, and that's 21, 22 miles an hour in his bag as well to like legitimately run by people. So from your life experience, whether it was Bobby or others, how did you develop that chemistry that quickly?
It's a weird thing. Like some guys are just so easy to read, and like my favorite guy might not be somebody else's favorite guy. Like it's just a weird thing. But you just sometimes have a connection with somebody, and you understand what they're thinking, what you're thinking, and I don't know. I think the word for me is decisive. I just feel like he's very, very decisive. JSN, like what he's not gonna do, and sometimes knowing what he's not gonna do helps you know what he probably is gonna do. And he's got he's got that like that feel and that angry and that like aggressiveness of like a Doug Baldwin. He also has that top end, like deep shot stuff of like a Tyler Lockett in his younger years or other guys. And it's just, I don't know. It's like, I think he's still underrated if that's even possible, but people are sleeping on him. We're not all the way through the year, but like if you kind of project out how this thing might go, he's going to have an incredible year.
And Matt, I want to ask you more about Sam Darnold and just Sam Darnold on the field and what you're seeing there. And, one of the things when Brock and I were talking about our takeaways, one of mine was just how much of a playmaker Darnold is. And you see him, avoiding sacks and getting the ball out quickly, but you also see him escaping and creating big plays on the run. Just what have you thought about his game overall and just that playmaking aspect in specifically?
Yeah, well, I always thought that an underrated part of his game was like his legs. Like he's really mobile. I mean, I thought that coming out of college, like you don't think of him that way, but he's really great that way. That didn't surprise me. I think the thing that's been really encouraging is how well he's protected the football this year. He's got 4 interceptions on the year. He had this, one bad one last week, but 2, I think, against Pittsburgh, and then the one I think at the end of the Tampa game. Other than that, he's been great. Like he's been protecting the football, protecting the team, protecting the ball, and still with this like cut it loose mentality. Like he's not like little check down Charlie. Like he's cutting it loose when the ball's there. And he's like, like, hey, if it's there, I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to spread the ball around. I think that's been great. And when you're coming in, when you're trying to learn all the new people, you're brand new to the team, you got a new play caller, you haven't really, been through the fire together the way that they're going through it now. I think that's the big unknown. And I think to me, that's probably the thing that he's been great. Other people are going to like, oh, Justin Herbert's throwing for all these yards and all this stuff. Yeah, he's throwing interceptions though. Like that's a very important part of the game. And I think like the last piece is just like really protecting the ball in the pocket. That's like the next level of really taking your game to kind of like an MVP type level.
Mm-hmm. Hey, last thing for me here, Matt, just expound a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, on what you said earlier of when you're around that facility, and you've been around there a bit, you're around there draft time, you're around there a little OTA time, you're around there for the Legends weekends. When you said Mike McDonald's a little bit of Mike Holmgren, but he's his own guy. He's a little bit of Pete Carroll, but he's his own guy. Expound on that, if you wouldn't mind, just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's young. He's very young. He's very humble. It's almost like, hey guys, like I don't deserve to be your head coach. Like, what should our slogan be? I don't deserve to pick it. Like it's your team. It's not my team. This is your team. Who am I? Like, what have I ever done? Look at my resume. What was I doing 5 years ago? You guys are the stars. What should we be about? Like, what's our mission here? Like, what are we here for? Are we here to collect check? Are you here to collect a check? Are you here to do something special? And then he gives them ownership of it. And like the best teams that I was ever on were the teams where the players cared more than the coaches, and they had more skin in the game. And the coaches care all the way. These guys sleep in their office. I mean, they really care. But like when the players are all in, and he does a great job of that. Even in the Tampa game, he was the first one to stand up in a really authentic way. Like, hey, swing and a miss on that defensive game plan. That was on me. Yeah, I'll be better. That's my bad. Okay. Now there's some technique things you guys can work on, but like if we're giving blame, put it on me. That was my fault. Okay. I just think there's a humility and a respect there. But when you talk about schedule and like that stuff, it's like very Holmgren-esque. Players and families at mock game. I mean, Brock, you remember what Holmgren was like on a mock game. Like you were so afraid to make a mistake on a Saturday. Like Sundays were easy because Saturdays were like Dilfer when he would practice on Saturdays was like, stressed out of his mind to throw an incompletion. And like, that was the atmosphere. You go to a Mike McDonald Saturday mock game, the families are there, his dog's running around the field, like kids are running around the field. It's just so different. Very much like Pete, but I don't know. It was like a lot of, it was cool. It was different, but I just think like with any head coach, the authenticity is a really important piece. Like, I'm not trying to be some other person. I'm just me. And if you get to know me, you know what I care about, what's important to me, what I'm hanging my hat on. And when you get in those gray areas as a player, like you say, okay, what should I do right now? And like, boom, Mike McDonald, what's he care about? He cares about the mission. What's the mission? The mission is like what our goals are. Like, that's it. If anything gets in the way of that, like, it's out. I'm all in. And I just think it's nice as a player when you have a coach that's really clear of who he is. And I think that's what Mike is as a young coach too. And he's learning on the fly, and he's doing a great job.
And Matt, last one for me. I think Brian Nemhauser, the Hawkblogger, asked you this a while back, and I thought it was a great question. But how do you know when you're good as a player on a team? How do you know when your team is really like has a chance to do something?
Yeah, I don't think you need to know. Like the year we went to the Super Bowl, like we had no idea that was the year. Like we had no idea that we were going to be the 1 seed. We were going to rest our starters in the last week of the season. Like we had no idea. Like week 1, we even get spanked. We go down to Jacksonville and just get like run out of town. We didn't know, but you don't need to know. Like let other people know. Our offensive coordinator in the Holmgren years was Gil Haskell. He wasn't like real hands-on, but he was great at this like 35,000 foot view of our team. And he'd come back after a win on the plane and like grab your arm and he'd be like, hey, we're going to be all right this year. Like, we're going to be all right. And give you like a wink. And like, it was like his job to know, or somebody like that's job. Like leave that to like a Leslie Frazier or somebody like that. Like if you're a player, you're just all in the work. You just focus on that one play at a time. The score of the season will take care of itself, kind of a mindset. And there's some things like I feel like I'm a little bit of a 35,000 foot viewer of this team. Seeing what Sam Darnold's doing at the line of scrimmage with the check with me system, audibling versus blitz, making it look easy, making it look routine. Like this is a team that has a chance to do something really, really special this year. But again, it's a one game at a time. And then when you get the chance to win those huge games this year, Rams game, Colts game, Niners, you'll get another shot. You got to do it. Like you got to make those plays at the moment of truth. And you can't come home with like a woulda, coulda, shoulda. You got to do it.
So good. We could do this for hours and hours and hours. 2 quick things on Gil Haskell. Do you remember his dress shoes or his white golf shoes?
Yeah. Hey, you got to break in the golf shoes, Brock, Yes. Plus as a coach, sometimes you're like indoor, outdoor. You're on the grass, You're in the hotel, got to go with your nice outfit, can go with the coaching.
And were you there when he talked about the keyboard? He taught keyboard or typing?
I did. I was, yeah. My favorite thing from Gil Haskell, though, and I've used it, like, sometimes, like, you want energy at practice, right? You want to, so, yeah, a little enthusiasm. But the other rule is once the quarterback steps in the huddle, no one's allowed to talk.
Right.
So Gil was sort of had this famous like back-to-back. He'd be like, hey, a little enthusiasm, shut up. A little enthusiasm, shut up. Kind of reminds me of like that Stephen Wright thing. I named my dog Stay. Come here, Stay. Come here, Stay.
Oh, it's an old school Stephen Wright mention right at the end from Matt Hasselbeck. Love that. Fun interview yesterday, and I actually want to come back to quite a bit of that this morning. There's a lot going on with the Seahawks team. I think a lot of it is very positive. You heard from Matt talking through what Mike McDonald is doing and the coaching side of it. I want to come back to the quarterback side of it, and then there's another very quiet story that honestly has not been talked about nearly enough. No, not just Leonard Williams. Another story that we haven't talked about enough. Shame on us, and I'll make sure we do that coming up at 7:30. Last night, epic in so many different ways. Brock and I will discuss next on Brock and Salk.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner's with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets the Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
Who's going to accuse you of manager?
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Man, what a ball game last night, Brock. What an unbelievable baseball game. Those are the classics, man. Those are the ones you remember for a long, long time. 18 innings at Dodger Stadium, 6 hours and 39 minutes playing deep into the night. It had it all, man. How late did you make? So you're an hour later.
Yeah,
how late did you make it?
14th.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 14th. I was like, can't do it.
Just couldn't do it.
Eyes getting heavy.
Tapped out.
Yeah, eyes getting heavy. Mom's lasagna, spaghetti.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. So I had to just, go night-night. Yeah, 18?
18.
Oh, gosh. And Freddie finished it?
Of course he did. That's what Freddie does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, how was your off day, sweetie? You feel good? You feel refreshed?
Don't sweetie me. No, I don't, because I stayed up until 1 o'clock last night. I don't feel refreshed at all.
No, not at all.
I feel
Not even a little.
Not even a little bit. No, I was feeling refreshed, and then I got myself
74 on the golf course.
Yeah,
a beautiful
right.
day. Look at you.
It was a nice day. It was a beautiful day. I enjoyed my day off.
Good.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in, didn't hear me, and then texted me. It's like, are you okay? Like, yeah, I've just taken a day off. I got a little vacation time. Despite what Daniel Jeremiah might think, I've worked a lot of days this year, and thought it might be time for a little off day after.
So what is it now?
27
and 5. Is that? Did I see that graphic right? In like the third inning, they put up a graphic of the teams that out homer the other team in this postseason in 2025.
Are home runs important?
Are now, I believe, honestly, I think it was 20. I should have written it down or taken a picture, but I believe it was something like 26 and 5 heading into last night. And then obviously the damage Shohei does, and then to ultimately finish it off with Freddie. Is it really just that simple? Just find a way to hit home runs?
I don't think it's that simple. No, and I've hopefully never said that, but I do think home runs are really important, and I do think they might be the most important thing offensively, followed by walks. And then contact and all the other things I think come in. And I don't mean to, keep harping back on this point. I don't mean to make this like a war between contact and power.
Right.
I know John Smoltz prefers contact. He's made that pretty clear over the last few weeks. I like contact. There are times where it's very, very important. And I hate that this becomes, like an either or Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative thing. Like, it can be a little of both. Like, you don't have to just choose one thing. But if you like pin me down and say you got to have one, yeah, I'll take power. I'll take Shohei going deep twice. I'll take Freddie Freeman ending the game with one swing before I'll take Miguel Rojas bunting to set it all up for Alex Call. Like, yeah, exactly.
Huh?
Yeah,
What'd you say, bro?
That literally happened last night.
When?
Yeah, that
Like
was
the
the
17th?
14th? 15th? Who the heck knows?
So, you remember growing up, and I'm a little older than you by a couple years, but I think we're somewhat of the same genre. Do you remember the heights of Bo Jackson?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, when he was the Tecmo Bowl star,
Yep.
when he was Bo Knows, when he was the Nike ads, when he was playing football and baseball and just doing superhuman things, felt like Bo Jackson. And I've told this story before at a Nike event I was at, and there was Jerry Rice and there was Ken Griffey Jr., and it was a big fundraiser, and it was amazing at their facility. But when Bo Jackson walked in, all of those guys stopped.
I bet they
and
did.
We're like, whoa, okay, here comes Bo. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest. Is the greatest athlete of this generation. He is the Bo Jackson of this generation. What he is doing, it's crazy, and it's not talked about enough. Like what? I mean, he was 9 for 9 last. They had to walk him 5 times because you don't dare let him swing. He's big. He's fast. He throws it 100 miles an hour. He hits 500-foot bombs. He's like this Babe Ruthian legendary. Like what? and we're watching it and get a chance to watch it. And why do I feel like it's a bit undersold? Is it because he's not an American? Because he doesn't like connect via the language, via all the commercials, via the things that Bo Jackson did at that time? Like, why do I feel like there's not enough Shohei? I know that Lyle believes.
I mean, he's sitting there wearing New
ever.
Balance and stuff like that. That does he is missing some of the commercial element. Shohei, sort of walking around in his New Balance is not quite Bo knows. Like, I don't know whether the marketing campaign behind them has had the same kind of a long-term
New Balance
effect.
is from your roots, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I used to work in the New Balance building, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but I don't know that it has quite the same impact culturally as Bo Knows does, but I think that's the best comp, Brock. You're absolutely right. The multi-sport element of Bo compared to the pitching and hitting element of Shohei is a great comp. Shohei might be a better. I think they're like, if I had to take Bo's football ability and combine it with Shohei's hitting, I think that's probably about accurate. I think that Shohei might be a better pitcher though than Bo was a baseball player, and Bo was a great baseball player. Don't get me wrong. I think Shohei might be an even better pitcher. He might be better than Bo.
Yes. I mean, it's silly.
What are we doing? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is insane.
Well, and
they walked him 5 times last night, 4 times in a row intentionally, and then they gave him the most intentional, unintentional walk I've ever seen with 4 pitches that came nowhere near the strike zone. He's unbelievable. You cannot pitch to him, and I don't think they will again. It's why I said earlier, Brock, I don't think he should be hitting leadoff for the rest of the series. Like, I think the only thing you can do to get Shohei Ohtani even a chance to hit is to move him down in the order and hope to get more people on base in front of him. I get it. You're trying to protect him with Mookie Betts, or you're trying to get him on base and then either have him steal second or have Mookie and Freeman drive him in. But I wonder if you'd be better off putting those guys in front of him and hoping that Shohei can drive them in, because you have to pitch to him with runners on first and second, right? You're not going to load. Are you going to load the base? Maybe you will.
Maybe.
Heck, I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe he's just that ridiculous that you just say, whatever, we're going to have to just. But he hit 2 home runs last night. Both of them were solo shots. They walked him 4 times and then a 5th time because they just said, we're not going to let him beat us. We're just not going to let him beat us in this game. So I think that it's been a blast to watch, Brock. I will admit, I said it at 6. A little hard at the beginning to watch baseball after Game 7, and I don't think that's a...
And thankfully, there was like 4 days, though. I mean, thankfully, Lyle got to take 4 showers. He got to dry off. He had Mom dry all the clothes.
I don't know, man. Like, I was talking to a buddy last night, and he's just like, yeah, I can't watch. Like, I'll be fine next year, but, like, I don't want to watch the World Series. I don't want to see Toronto win. I don't want to see them lose. I just am frustrated and upset, and I don't want to watch the rest of the baseball season, which I completely understand.
Yep.
But last night, I would hope kind of brings you back to it, because I didn't really watch much of games 1 and 2. I really didn't. Like, yeah, all right, I'm good for a little bit. Baseball was so intense. But then last night just brought it all back. All my love of the game. I thought it was great, Brock. It reminds me why we don't need ghost runners. It reminds me why we do need the pitch clock. And I just... The tension
and you get to watch greatness,
unmatched.
Man. And when you get to watch greatness, that's all I'm saying. For those of you out there that may be in that boat a little bit, like I can't watch, well, then you're missing arguably the greatest athlete, certainly of this century. What he is doing and making it look easy in a sport that is the hardest sport on earth. And when he gets in the box, like, he's going to hit a home run. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Oh, he's going to hit another home run. Yep, there it goes. Oh, there it gets pulled. Oh, there it goes the other way. Oh, there. I mean, it's just he's making a game. He's playing a game that nobody else is playing.
Yeah, there's essentially nothing he can't do on a baseball field. It's really
Lyle,
it's really ridiculous.
Lyle, you wanted to say something?
Well, maybe you feel like he doesn't get talked enough here. In Japan, I mean, he's a god there.
It's hard to talk about him here when every single sports media show is set up to talk about the NFL 365 days a year.
Or the Lakers.
Like, what do you want? Yeah, or the Lakers. I mean, like, who's supposed to talk about him? You want Stephen A. to talk about him? Yeah, that'll be great.
Oh,
that's right up his alley.
I was going to say, he tried that a few years ago and got himself.
Well, that's kind of my point. Like, who is set up to talk about this? Wilbon and Kornheiser to an extent, right? I mean, like, those guys are baseball guys. I mean, like, looking around, Fox and ESPN and the national shows, who's set up to talk about this? There really aren't that many shows that are built that way. Mad Dog, in
this
theory.
would be front and center for Cowherd.
Cowherd won't talk about this if you pay him.
In LA.
If you paid Colin Cowherd specifically to talk about this, he'd say, no. Let me. Like he'd go on about he would talk about
talk like Clayton.
I know. I got screwed up on my imitations. I'm sorry, but Cowherd would basically tell you like, well, the demographics don't say to talk about it.
Right.
Demographics tell me that I should be talking soccer. Soccer guy, Northwest guy. Soccer's the future. That's what I'm talking about. Soccer. Like that's what Cowherd would say. He would talk about. Yeah, would never even think. I mean, Shohei'd be the only person in baseball he'd even mention.
Yeah.
And it sucks because last night should be talked about in detail all around the country, like a Super Bowl game, with that level of intrigue and back and forth and debates. And dude, they bunted to set it up for Alex Call. I'll say this again: he freaking bunted to set it all up for Alex Call. That's the craziest thing that's maybe ever happened in the World Series. And in the same game, Shohei got on base 9 times. You kidding me? All right. Brock, I loved your interview with Hasselbeck yesterday, and it really got me thinking about something that happened with the Seahawks team that, again, maybe we're not talking about enough. That's coming up as we shift to football after my great rant there about baseball. We'll have some more baseball talk today as well. Jeff Passan coming up at 8:30. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Sean Payton is a bully.
Bump and Stacy.
He went out, tried to bully Russell Wilson on the low.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
I don't care how you feel about Russell Wilson. I think that Sean Payton, he saw an opportunity to take shots at a guy that he felt like wasn't going to say anything back to him. I've heard that he's a decent guy, but in that moment, that was some bully activity right there. Russell, I'm proud of you. Clap back at him and called out some facts, too. So I'm proud of Russell in that moment.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Tune in Sunday, November 2nd, when the Seahawks take on Washington. Kickoff at 5:20 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
At 65 years old, Brian has a rather demanding hobby.
My biggest passion is snow skiing, and I ski between 70 and 80 days per year. And I ski instruct at a private resort in Montana.
Needless to say, that can be a bit tough on the joints.
When this knee started to bother me, I thought I'm doomed.
That's when Brian decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
If I did yard work or skied a few days in a row, I was fighting swelling and pain and no sleep and all sorts of problems, and that has absolutely gone away.
So are you back on the slopes?
I mean, I had a 14-day stretch with clients where I skied every day and I had no problem. It was fine. It was just like, I felt like new.
So I'm guessing you would recommend this to others.
Oh, I already have. I've told everyone that'll listen.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's really, truly a miracle.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Absolutely epic last night. Just a phenomenal baseball game. 18 innings, 19 pitchers, 609 pitches thrown. The threat of position players on the mound. Lots of managerial decisions, which you can always second guess later. Vlad was unbelievable early. Heroics with the bat, the arm, the legs. Shohei went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 5 walks, 4 of them intentional. Reached base 9 times. That has only happened a couple of times. Not since the 1940s, no biggie. 8 2/3 scoreless combined from who but Eric Lauer and Will Klein, because why wouldn't they? And in the end, guess who walked it off? Freddie Freeman.
Little, ready, kick steals. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Varsho back, near the wall, at the track, gone! Freddie Freeman! A home run to center field. Freeman walks it off in the 18th. Oh, Freddie delivers.
Kind of a sneaky walk-off, Brock, because you'd seen a couple of balls earlier that looked like they might be gone, but then didn't make it over the fence, and so I think there was
you get that smog layer about 2 in the morning that rolls into Chavez Ravine, and just those balls go to die.
That must be.
How long was it? 6 hours and
39 minutes.
6 hours.
Ended about 11:50 last night.
And at no point did you think maybe at the 18 inning mark we need a ghost runner? Maybe
No,
the 19
absolutely
inning
not.
mark we need
I
a
did
ghost
not.
runner?
I never for one second thought it. It was unbelievable drama. Nor did I think I better send my kids to bed. My kids stayed up until eventually they said, we're done. We can't handle it anymore. But stay up. Watch the game. Create a core memory that will make people fall in love with baseball forever. And I hope last night had some of that effect on my kids.
Yep. Pretty amazing, pretty remarkable. And once again, the long ball. Like, as hard as it is, especially without ghost runners, as hard as it is to collect enough hits, even against the last guy in the bullpen. Anybody else left? Bueller? Anybody we can go to?
How about Yoshinobu Yamamoto volunteering to pitch 2 days after throwing a complete game? You kidding me?
What was his bullpen day song?
So I don't care what it was, man. That was everything going on in that game was really just, I don't know, it was fun. Great drama, theatrical, fun to watch. Game 4 will be tonight in LA. No idea how these bullpens get through another night, but hopefully Shohei can go deep for the Dodgers. Hopefully Shane Bieber can go deep for the Toronto, and we'll see where that takes us.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks started their prep yesterday, Brock, for Washington, who will be coming off a short rest. They did not look very good last night, huh? I didn't get to see a ton of that game. And look, you're starting Marcus Mariota, who's already proven he's not an NFL starter, and certainly not at this age.
You would have loved a 4th-and-1 play where he threw it out of bounds on a deep ball. On 4th-and-1.
Yeah, no thanks. I saw the pick he threw late. That one was tough. Like, he just unfortunate. And I always really wanted Marcus Mariota to succeed. He's not that guy, unfortunately.
Like the greatest dude ever. You talk to anybody in the league, certainly all of the Polynesian players that followed in his footsteps, like, he was the guy. And he still gives back. And he's still an amazing, amazing fella. And hopefully he's starting Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, I'm gonna guess that we'll see. Jaden Daniels obviously trying to come back. Don't know that Terry McLaurin's gonna be available on Sunday now either. He left that game with a quad injury, same one that's been bothering him and has kept him out for about a month this year already. So,
That's 3-5. Washington's 3-5. They were in the NFC Championship game, pushing Philadelphia to the max last year. 1 year later, 3-5.
Yeah, not looking very good.
Welcome to the NFL.
From the Seahawks standpoint, still trying to get better. Trade deadline coming up. Mike McDonald, you going to do anything?
We're always active. I mean, we're always. I mean, you know how John rolls. We're in everything. We're constantly trying to do what's best for us. Sometimes that's through acquisition.
You get the sense something's going to go down?
You know how he rolls.
It kind of feels like something will happen, right? Even if it's small, something's
See, your boy Hendrickson got a hip issue, so.
Trey?
Trey got a hip.
The hip?
That hip is barking.
Just
barking.
barking.
Hip is barking.
Barking. Robbie Utes looking to return. He was designated to return to practice this week after spending time on IR.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I mean, again, I don't know if people are noticing. The Kraken are off to a really nice start. I know there's been a lot of other stuff going on in the city, but they've got more points in the standings and they've played games. Probably the best start of their...
Not probably. The best start in franchise history.
The best start in their young franchise history. Well,
minus 96.
Quality victories. I think that's the thing. It's not just that they've won a bunch of games. They beat Vegas. They beat Winnipeg. They beat Edmonton. One of those wins coming on the road. I think that's relevant. And they've been playing a better style, more rugged, more physical, more abrasion. They're very well coached. They're disciplined. They play hard. They're missing Jared McCann and Capo Caco. They're still doing well. Like, I just think they've been playing well.
Some of these young guys, you see their names each and every week, right? Or each and every game, making some. And it's not the same guy all the time.
Cartier's played some really good hockey.
Right? It's what you're looking
you're getting
for.
Something out of Ryan Winterton. Yeah, they've just played really well.
What's my guy Berkeley doing?
Berkeley Catton?
Yeah.
Doing okay.
He's okay.
He's a young guy. He got some time. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. You know who's now really good? This blew me away. But Morgan Geekie, who was mediocre fourth line winger here, is my dad says he's going to end up being named the captain of the Bruins.
I've been telling you guys the last couple of years. Remember when I was like, he has more goals than Matty Beniers?
It's unbelievable. But he's going to end up a captain. What?
Well, he's an overcomer, so.
He must be. Because he was not good when he was here.
Yeah,
all right, Lyle asked us a trivia question last night, and I cannot figure out the answer to this. Did you know, Brock?
No.
Okay, Maura didn't know either. Lyle, ask the question. I'm sure we'll get some text. I'm sure somebody else much smarter than us. I could not tell you who this was.
Okay, if you don't want to know right off the bat, I would not look at the text line during this because I'm sure some people will get it. But I asked which 2025 Mariner appeared in last night's game, in that World Series game.
Wait, 2020?
No, 2025.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 2020.
Who was in the Mariners organization this year? With the Mariners this year that appeared in that game last night.
All right, did he play in a game for the Mariners this year?
No.
He was called up at one point.
Okay, that's what I figured. He has a call up and then DFA'd or something like that.
He was in spring training, though, all spring.
He was?
Yeah.
We looked at him, Salk. He walked by the picnic
But you don't know who it is either.
No. But I went to bed in the 14th. I couldn't even make it through
You
the
don't even know
18th.
who pitched after that.
No.
I will say you've already said his name in this Need to Know.
Oh, my gosh.
I have?
Yeah.
Will Klein was the only one that jumped out to me, but he wasn't here, was he?
Will Klein.
Was?
Will Klein.
Wow.
I was wondering about that last night. That's funny. But I don't remember that at all.
He was in spring training. He was in Tacoma for a lot of the first half of the year. The Mariners called him up briefly for like a day or two in mid-April.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah, I kinda
pitched.
remember
Went
that.
back to Tacoma.
Be quiet.
Yes.
You
No,
are
I
such
do
a
kinda
liar.
remember. No,
You're such a
no.
big fat liar.
Now that
You
Lyle is
don't
mentioning
remember
this,
it. No, you don't.
Salk, I notice big people. He's a big person.
Don't
He is
even pretend you remember that. You are such a liar. You were such a liar, lying to the people here on our show this morning.
I guess somebody makes a good point. Well, actually, no. Somebody said Ty France, too, but he wasn't a 2025 Mariner.
No, he's been a Mariner, but he wasn't a 2020. Come on, that's a terrible
Will
guess.
Klein, of course.
Yeah.
Will Klein.
4 shutout last night.
Unbelievable.
Again, he was in Tacoma for most of the year.
He's pretty fired up. All right, Brock, coming up next. You had a great chat with Matt Hasselbeck yesterday. He said 2 things that really jumped out to me that I couldn't wait to get back on and talk about this morning. We'll do it next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
You know, to be that close, and you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah,
But
somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie
That's
Betts.
right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Kids were off school yesterday, so I had an opportunity to just hang out with both of them. And when I get those times to just kind of be with them, they don't have anything else going on, you know, I do find myself thinking about the future of like, man, there's only so many years left before they head off to college. And as you start thinking about your kids going to college and the expense that is associated with it, are you planning well enough for that? And then you start thinking about retirement, which comes, I don't know, hopefully soon after it. You got to make sure you're in the right position. In order to do that, you got to start planning now. It's why you need help from a company like Trajan Wealth. You can give them a call at 206-466-3300 and just discuss, how do you optimize funds? How do you deal with an old 401k? How do you plan for college? How do you plan for retirement? All these things that don't necessarily run through my head, that's what they do on a daily basis. So call Trajan Wealth today. Schedule just a complimentary introductory meeting to learn more. 206-466-3300 is the number. That's 206-466-3300 or TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesport.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Brock and Salk
weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Seahawks are a good team, Brock. Might end up being a great team this year. We'll see. I don't know exactly where this is going to end up going, but I think they're a very good team. I think they're going to win more games than they did last year. And as I think through the reasons why, I think I have 3. One, the defense is just really good, and we can put that one aside. I don't want to have any other conversation without first recognizing that what Mike McDonald's done with the defense is excellent. They're really good.
Yep. Then all of your pleas for the line of scrimmage, line of scrimmage. That side of the ball, they have aced it, as Brady said yesterday. The acquisitions in the offseason, the drafts, the development, all of it. Yep.
Okay, so take that one and understand that I recognize that is probably still reason number 1. But if I have to give you reasons 2 and 3, I think it's trading Geno and trading DK. And I know I'm biased because those were 2 things I really wanted the team to do. So I am not blind to the confirmation bias. I am not blind to the fact that I'm sure that's really rich coming from me. I really wanted both of those things to happen, but I feel like right now, 7 games in, they're both looking like very, very smart moves and moves that are absolutely helping this team win. Start with Geno. We'll get to DK here in a minute. On the Geno Smith front, Brock, just listening to Hasselbeck say this yesterday, I don't know exactly what he was referring to. Maybe nothing. But I couldn't help but chuckle in my car listening to you and Brady talking to Hasselbeck when you guys asked him about Sam Darnold and his humility.
I just think it means he's humble. You know, I don't know that that's always been said at the quarterback position on every team. Maybe that team too. I don't know. I wasn't in there, but
Dude, if I had been drinking in my car, I would have spit out whatever I was drinking. I laughed so hard when I heard that yesterday. I don't know. I wasn't in there, but maybe it's not always been true.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Matt's not referring to anything. Maybe he's referring all the way back to Russell Wilson, which is certainly a possibility. I don't know whether Russ was always the most relatable one of the fellas. But it dawned on me, at least, that he could have been referring to the last couple of years under Geno Smith.
Humility is attractive, probably in any business, especially when you're getting paid as much as quarterbacks are getting paid these days. What I love about Sam Darnold is he's still a young player, but he's a guy with a ton of NFL experiences and a lot of sort of bad experiences that have sort of maybe humbled him a little bit, or maybe it's already his natural, disposition. But I think the locker room respects what he's gone through as a player.
As far as an attribute in leadership, I asked you the Shohei Bo Jackson question earlier, and I like when I ask you questions and I can see the little hamster in your head kind of turning. As far as a characteristic of someone in position of leadership, is there an attribute that is more favorable than humility? I mean, it's right. It is off the chart. Why are you chuckling?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, it is. When I was around Tony Dungy was one of the great leaders. Was Tony Dungy like the greatest football schemer? No. Was the perception of Tony Dungy as like this cover 2, Tampa 2, madman, him and Monty Kiffin? Was it way overblown? Yes. Did he spend most of the time sitting in our QB rooms because he was a quarterback in the 70s in Minnesota? It would have been an NFL quarterback in today's NFL, but couldn't do that in the era he played because of racism. Did he love the offense way more than he did the defense? Yes. Did he have an ooze humility? 100%. There was no greater attribute that he had than humility. Why are you laughing? Stop.
Well, I'm laughing at myself, and I could give a crap about humility as my leader. I don't care at all whether my leader is humble. Would not even dawn on me to be a top 5 attribute on what I'm looking for from the head of my company. Like, you know what I'm looking for? Competence, vision, an idea of where the group is going, consistency. I could probably give you 10 others, Brock, that would be more important to me than humility. And the fact that everybody else seems to think humility is of that great an importance might explain why I ultimately failed in leadership. I totally, I recognize the irony here.
Yes.
I do not give a hoot how humble my leader is. I want them to be competent. I want them to have a vision. I want them to have a good plan for my business. I don't care if they're humble. Who cares?
The humility brings a relatability.
I don't need them to be relatable. I don't care. I don't need to relate to them.
You don't think that helped Tom Brady?
I'm not saying it didn't.
Every teammate he ever had.
I'm asking you you know what also helped Tom Brady? A really good cannon arm and an unbelievable ability to read the defense, and a guy in Bill Belichick who was coaching the team was not even a little bit humble.
I'm just asking if you could see why it would be helpful at all.
I can see it, but it is not to me.
Not for you.
It is not for me. I recognize for other people it's very important. I don't know why. Maybe other people are very don't have enough self-confidence and they need their leader to feel like they're just like them. I want my leader to be better than me. I want my leader to be really freaking smart with a really good plan. I don't care if they're humble. Not important to me even a little bit, but whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It is obviously important to Matt, and it seems to be important to a lot of football players. Yeah. And I don't think the last 2 guys that were here had that at all. In different ways, obviously. Correct. But I don't think either of those guys had even a little bit of humility.
No. And I think it made it hard for the players to relate to him, no matter how competent they were, Salk. And they were super competent. Geno was a super competent passer. Russell, in his prime, was a super competent, athletic, dynamic wizard of a quarterback. But it didn't make him relatable. It didn't make him, Doug really had to scream at Russell all the time. Mm-hmm. We will follow you, lead us. It just... They had great skill sets. They had great competency. They had a lot of those other talents, but I just don't think they had a relatability because they were not particularly humble guys.
It also helps that he's younger and a better fit for this new offense. And I did think it was interesting hearing Matt say that Mike McDonald has actually a pretty good role in this, or in designing what this offense is all about. I thought that was important. A better leader for this group. He's been a really solid quarterback overall. So throw all those things together, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
The second point is about DK Metcalf. And as you know, I was pretty adamant that they trade DK for the last 2 years. I thought that they should have done it a year earlier than they actually did. I'm glad that they did it. And, my opinion on it was always much more about taking those resources and rewiring them into things that would be a better fit for your team, for the type of offense that you are trying to build. Mm-hmm. That has happened to an extent. But there's been I think, an unbelievable byproduct of that I'm not going to take any credit for thinking about or having any forethought that this would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Moving DK Metcalf out of there, I think maybe has been the biggest reason JSN has broken out. And we've barely talked about that as a reason, right? We've talked about his quickness and his versatility, and I've got sound on all those things. All of them are important. But what if they just needed room to get him the ball more often? And I started thinking about the NBA. Every team in the NBA has a guy who scores 25 points a game, right? You have to. Somebody's got to score the points. So every team in the NBA has a scorer, somebody who scores a lot of points. But on the bottom third, half, three-quarters teams in the NBA, guess what? That guy's not as good as the other guys who score 25, 30,
not
40 points a game.
Yep.
They're not as good at it. And you can't trust them in the big moments. What if DK was one of those guys, but you moved him out, and it turns out the guy that you replaced him with is actually the better volume scorer? In this case, volume receiver. What if
He's actually
Jason's
the
just
number
better?
one receiver. Yeah, he's just the number one receiver.
Yeah.
And I'll get to some of this in Blue 88. I think that was my third Blue 88 question and dig into this a little bit deeper. But yeah, when you watch JSN, and I love some of what Matt said about JSN yesterday, and he's right. He's kind of got the temperament and just kind of the feist of Doug Baldwin. Like, you're not going to cover me. Are you kidding me? You're giving me one-on-one coverage? How dare you? And I'm gonna make you pay. And then he's got like the precision and in the playmaking. I think he mentioned Darrell Jackson, of a guy that just always seemed to wiggle and always seemed to find a way to like get open. And then he's a QB's best friend. He's the most QB friendly receiver we've had here. Tyler Lockett was similar. And I think you mentioned Tyler's game-breaking speed, pre-injury, and everything else.
But DK was pretty, just to go back, Brock, DK was, I don't want to say exactly one note. That's selling him short. DK's more than just a one-note receiver, but he's not the most versatile guy in the world. And what if JSN's versatility as a number one quality is a better fit for this team than DK's size and speed combo? And I thought back to Mike McDonald telling us this last week when we chatted with him.
Yeah, it's a great point. Clint, all of our guys are doing a great job. Clint, Janoko, Pete's, Mac does a great job with it. But if one guy's just going to stand in one spot all the time and he runs from the same split, well, there's a lot of stuff on defense that we can do to manipulate how he gets the ball and things like that. But it's a testament to Jax to be able to move around. It's not easy. Play multiple positions, different spots, all that. And our coaches, too, for making that, seem simple and seamless and moving around where you can't just, quote-unquote, cloud him all the time, or play cover 2 to him or play cover 4 to him or just play man, like these are some answers. You double them. Okay, well, now you double them. Now somebody else is it. So you got to keep the target moving, and you got to try to stay ahead of the curve. And so far, guys have done
we talked last year, Brock, hey, we look at the numbers. When DK's out, actually, JSN fared pretty well. I don't think that was an accident in retrospect. Like, he might be better when you can move him around into every spot and you take advantage of his skill set, which might be a better one than DK's.
As much as you argued for this, and really even a year prior to that, I don't think you even ever expected it to look like this.
No, absolutely not. Not even a little. I'm not
it was
trying to
just
take
about,
any credit.
No, it was just about, man, a third contract and 30-something million a year, and it's just so much.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you want to talk about MOB ties and mission over the other stuff, yeah,
right.
DK was a violator of that. He was a penalty. Oh, that cute little penalty board. Oh, well, I'm so competitive. Oh, I'm going to fight guys at practice. Oh, I'm going to stick my fingers like the Three Stooges the other night right in the face mask of the Green Bay Packer guy. Like, it's just, that's enough. Like, enough. That's not mission. You're hurting the team. You're hurting the mission when you do that kind of self-inflicted stuff. And it doesn't make you competitive. It makes you undisciplined. And I think, and you never, again, in your view, I don't think you ever took
I thought it was all just about,
stuff.
reallocating your resources in a better way. But this has been an unbelievable byproduct from my standpoint. Maybe they knew this was going to be the case.
All right,
Brock, I didn't see it. I'm just a humble leader here. I don't know.
Right.
I'm showing off my humility.
That's
I don't know whether or not that I actually predicted this.
Let me ask you the $100 million question then.
Okay.
Are you prepared with all that JSN can do and all that he is doing and all that he is showing to be the difference maker, outpacing the rest of the league, the game changer? Are you prepared? So are you prepared to allocate resources to JSN as your number one guy?
That's a good question.
Yeah, there's been some salty
That
fun
is
questions
a
this first hour.
good
You
question.
need to take your little spa days more often.
Are
These
you?
R&R days.
Are you?
On a first contract at this age, I am. He is in the absolute prime. That
So
was
what-
always
I guess I
something.
have to know what that would look like.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking the top of the receiver market, right? So this is after year 3. You can go ahead and pay him now, and you can have that 4th year, and obviously he's a first-round pick, so they don't have to do this, and they have him for a 5th year, and yada yada yada.
I think I'd like to do that. He's only in year 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you got like another 2 years before I want to talk about this. I'm definitely picking up the 5th
But
year option.
it's better to pay now. It's better to. You can massage into those final 2 years, kind of like a baseball contract, and say, hey, here's what you're going to make. Here's what the next year we're going to make. We're going to take care of you. We're going to pay you now.
I don't want to do that yet.
Okay.
Let's talk at the end of the year. You don't have to do that in the middle of the season.
No,
that's
no.
a
You can't.
conversation. Let's see
You
if there's
can't do it.
health.
You can't do it
Let's
until the
see if it
offseason.
continues, Brock. This is a snapshot in time. But that's a really good question you're asking.
But he's really showing you what a 1 is. And he's really showing you what a team 1 is. And he's really showing you what a versatile 1 can be, doing all the things they need to do within
and
this
Brock,
system.
what if it helps and not having to focus on DK all the time and his feed that ego? What if that's part of it also? And this jumped out to me from Matt yesterday as well.
And I do think like the Seahawks do a pretty good job of that too. I feel like everyone is involved in the game plan from Jake Bobo to Brady Russell to like everybody in between. They have a role. And again, I think that's makes you more difficult to defend. The defense has to spend time on stuff. And Mike McDonald realizes that, and I think he's got his hands in this offense as well.
Look, DK might be quote-unquote more talented and might be a nightmare matchup for a lot of cornerbacks and defenses in this league. But what if JSN allows the team to be a better match, a better or a harder matchup for defenses? What if he allows everyone else to take more advantage of their skills and their versatility and what Sam Darnold does really well? Right now, it's looking like, I don't know, those couple of moves sure feel like they're a big part of why the Seahawks are having the success they are. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Let me just say, Brock, before I ask you 3 questions, while humility would not necessarily top my list, I don't think that means I'm looking for somebody that is overconfident, egotistical, and to a point of there does have to be a limit on that. I'm not trying to poo-poo the idea of somebody having an amount of, whether it's humble leadership or servant leadership, whatever phrase you want to put on it. I'm sure there's some value to that. It just, I'll take Nick Saban over Tony Dungy. I'll take Bill Belichick over. I appreciate your Dungy love and you played for the guy.
Yep.
Now, that can go the other way, too. There have been other coaches in town that maybe occasionally drift into the egotist realm of that. We'll leave names out of it. Brock, question number 1. High school practice last night.
Yep.
Got you thinking about Hasselbeck. What was on your mind?
It sure did. It was pretty fun. I think it was the first or second play of the period. And Ben Hamilton, you remember old Ben Hamilton, Dave Pearson's least favorite person in the history of any players he's covered.
Bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, he's the O-line coach at our school. And I got to relay this story that Matt Hasselbeck shared with us yesterday about the perils of the shotgun versus under center.
Joe Montana said something once, and he's absolutely right. When you're under center and the ball hits your hands, you have the ball immediately after it's snapped. Your eyes are on the free safety, or your eyes are on the defender that you need to have them on immediately. And it's usually the free safety, but your eyes are there immediately. But when you're in shotgun and you're catching the snap, your eyes have to drop just for a second to make sure you catch the snap. And also, if we're telling the truth here, not every center is great at snapping in shotgun. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's all over the place. Either way, even if it's a perfect snap, your eyes have to drop down and you're just a half second late seeing what the free safety or the corner or whatever they're doing.
You know what summer snaps are, right? Summer snaps. Some are here, some are there, some are everywhere. Yeah. So yesterday, first period of team, we run this little concept of motion and kind of explode vertically out of it. And we have a really good center. He's not a summer snapper. He's a really good pinpoint snapper, but this one was like way down and away. And it just takes your eyes and your rhythm totally off of it. and you're a beat late. You're just a step late, and it just gets knocked down instead of being a touchdown. And yes, you would have been like, "You're such a dork. Will you stop telling this story, please?" Oh, you should have heard Matt Hasselbeck on, and that's why you're under center. But it does. That's one of the trade-off, as he said. You get 5 yards back. You're in your drop. Yada yada yada. But man, has it been a joy this year through 7 games to watch the precision, the timing, and the rhythm of all the things they're doing under center and all the fruit that it is bearing.
All right, question number 2. Brock, what has happened to the Commanders? I really thought they were going to be a Super Bowl kind of team this year, and it has gone in the opposite direction so far.
I think a couple things happen that are very real in the NFL. You can get old very fast. And if you watch the game, I know you're probably a little more World Series. I was flipping back and forth a little bit. And you see Travis Kelce open by 5 yards. Well, we've seen that. And I love Bobby Wagner to death. And he has like 80 tackles this year. But the guy just can't play and move in space. And so when you try to get him and Frankie Louvu and those guys that are not great space players, you get taken advantage of. And they have defensively. And their front has not been as good as they were and certainly were a year ago. And number 2, sophomore slump is real. That's a real term for a reason. It doesn't stick around for decades and decades and decades unless you've got case studies each and every year. And the amount of time and work that people put into Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury's system, and all the RPO and everything they do, that's a real thing, as dominant as they were last year. Injury's been a big part of it. But availability is a reason that sophomore slumps also exist. Like, hey, man, you can't put yourself in harm's way at whatever you are, 200, as slight as you are, over and over and over and over again. It's going to catch up to you. And it's going to be a knee, and now it's going to be a hamstring, and you're going to get a little bit beat up. So I think they got old in some spots, and I think that sophomore slump is real. And this is a very vulnerable team on Sunday night, especially without Jaden Daniels. If he's not under center, that you got to go and beat.
Love it. All right, question number 3. You couldn't have told me all that, Brock, before I went to Vegas and kind of got excited about Washington?
No.
That would have been helpful. Maybe a couple months ago. You could have told me that in July. Well, Brock, it's funny, you and I were thinking about the same things last night. Why was trading DK maybe bigger than trading Geno?
Yeah, I just talk about mission, right? Just that mission. And it's probably still the signal caller. It's probably still DK. It's Geno. It's his press conferences. The ball is in his hand all the time. But I think for DK, it was to everything that you just talked about earlier of how much of, and it's not even his issue all the time. He's bigger than life. Like, he walks into a room, right? And he's the room, right? You heard Tirico say the other night, like, he walked into a production meeting and he's like, fits the whole door. His presence is enormous. His size and power are Paul Bunyan-esque. I mean, it's just like superhuman stuff. And no matter how much you wanted to try to get other guys involved, it's like, well, we got to throw a slant to DK. Well, we got to throw go routes to DK. Well, we got to get DK involved. And if you don't get DK involved, what happens? Mount DK, throwing his helmet, slamming his helmet, taking the headset of Grubb or screaming, like all of that stuff that just is so much cleaner when you don't have that on your team, right? It's why these cycles exist in the NFL too. And when there's these windows of opportunity based on contracts, based on age, based on, hey, man, I got to get mine. There's nobody on this team saying, I got to get mine. That was Matt's point. Everybody in this whole mission first thing realizes, like, hey, man, there's no you know what I hated about COVID? This designation of, well, you're non-essential. Don't come to work. You're non-essential. Like, what?
Oh, that was
everybody
one thing?
is. There's lots of things, but everybody is essential. In the best teams, everybody is essential. And they made everybody essential in this mission on this Seahawks team here in 2025.
That was the thing. Just that. That's why you must have texted me about that a million times during COVID. That's everything today for Blue 88. Yeah, that was it. Good job.
You think I texted you 6 million times or 12 million times during that period?
Well, that's a really good question. Obviously, depends on how you count, right?
I think eventually
what
you
constitutes
said, you know what?
a text, Brock?
This is not healthy anymore. Can you please stop doing this? And I said, yes, I will. And then it lasts about a week or two.
Come right back and get right back to it. All right. Seahawks approaching the halfway point, Brock. We want to send one of you guys out there, or one of you gals, and 3 of your friends, if you got them, to watch the Seahawks on November 9th. All you got to do is open the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab, and find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text app, APP.
Yeah, you know me.
To 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. Enter every day to increase your chance to win. Contest runs through Monday, November 3rd. Who do they play on the 9th? Is that...
I'm so focused.
That's got to be...
I'm so focused.
Arizona on the 9th. All right, there we go. So those are the details. Text app, APP, to 866-979-3776. All right, coming up next, Brock, it is the one thing that you usually take for granted. But as you start thinking about 2026 with the Mariners, it might be anything but. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit prosculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's prosculpt.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, what do you expect from the Mariners starting pitching 2026? Do you know what you're going to get? I think we would have said heading into 2025, it was the one thing we felt really good about, right? Don't know what you're going to get from the offense. Little concern about part of the bullpen, but the one thing I know is that with this starting pitching, they're going to be in it. That guarantees them, 81 wins. Then everything after that is, kind of dependent on the rest of the roster and how they play. But the
track
one
record,
thing I know,
it's called a track record,
is they can pitch.
And some years and years of a pretty darn good track record. And any young guy that they handed the ball to that they felt like through pitch shape and pitch evaluation and Chev report and everything else, whether it was Brian Wu from AA Arkansas, hand him the ball, and Bryce Miller and handed him the ball, and just about everybody they handed the ball to for a couple years went out there and absolutely shoved.
So it was a little surprising, Brock, that the Mariners finished 13th in the league in 2025 in starter ERA. That's surprising to me. Now, they did finish a little better in starter whip. I think it was like 4th. So maybe some of that was some bad luck, or
it was that high for the season.
I think it was. I'll go back and look, but I think it was top.
Wow.
I think it was number 4 for the season. Let me go back and check that. Okay. But 13th in starter ERA, that's not what you're expecting. You would have said, all right, what do the Mariners need? If the Mariners are going to win 90 games, where did they finish in starter ERA? You would have said top 5, maybe top 3. Yeah, they were 13th. In on the road, Lyle, you pointed this out earlier, that's where a lot of their struggles came. Where were the Mariners in road ERA? I'm sorry, I couldn't break that one down by starters, but I don't think it's that different. They were 13th in starter ERA and 13th in ERA total. So let's assume, and I'm sorry, I couldn't figure it out how to do it on the spreadsheet, but what were they in road ERA this year?
Oof. Were they still in the teens? Or were they in the 20s?
Yeah, 23rd. 23rd in road ERA in 2025. All the while, Brock, still being 4th in innings pitched by their starters. And that's interesting to me. Now, look, they did end up with essentially 7 starters over the course of the year because there were injuries. So I don't want to freak out about the starter innings and whether or not that's a problem. But these guys have thrown a lot of innings the last couple of years. And when I think about some of the ineffectiveness in the postseason, it does at least make me wonder if those things have played a role. I don't know the answer to that. I'm wondering about injuries. I'm wondering about tired arms. I'm wondering about bad luck. I'm wondering about, this too. Like maybe they just thrown a lot of innings, and that's something that maybe they need to think about here over the course of the next year or so. But I think when you start wondering, okay, what does the Mariners rotation look like next year? It's got to be better than 13th in starter ERA, right?
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know. I don't have an answer. Like, are you running it back 100%? Are there changes that you're going to make? Do you have an expectation that you get more? I would be very surprised if they wanted to bank on Emerson Hancock a second time. That doesn't seem like something they're going to want to do. So that position probably needs to be changed out. Maybe it's maybe Kate Anderson or Saintcha or probably not Ryan
Sloan's
Sloan.
Not ready.
But like maybe one of those guys is ready to play the Emerson Hancock role next year. I don't know. Maybe Logan Evans is ready to take another step. I don't know. Those are very good, real questions. But do you need another guy? Do you need another member of your rotation, or do you have faith that you're going to get more next year from the guys you already have?
Yeah, I think there's some obviously non-negotiables, as there's been for the last couple of years. I think a Wu and a Logan and maybe even a Bryce Miller, to me, are kind of some non-negotiables. Is George Kirby still a non-negotiable, or is he kind of in that old Felix Hernandez camp for Mike Salk? Like maybe the value will never be higher for a young guy that's controllable for a few years still versus running that out. Luis Castillo was certainly shopped a year ago. By all accounts, like off the record, there were a lot of conversations, but, there's still a pile of money that he is owed now, because I think the way his contract, from what I understand, and the things that he's hit and triggered, like the no trade clause is off the table, so you can trade him anywhere. But is there going to be more of a market this time around than there wasn't a year ago, at least for them on that equal side of the equation?
He's owed less money, so that might help. But yeah, I don't think you're getting, top prospects back at this point for Luis Castillo for the same reason you're talking about shopping him. Like they're just
and maybe you're
not
even looking,
left.
and maybe you're not even looking for top prospects.
Yeah,
maybe you're just looking to take the money off the books to pay some of the other guys, and you are going to count on your development. And you are going to count on maybe a Kate Anderson in the second half of next year, and a Logan Evans to begin whatever route you want to go there. It does feel unlikely to me, unlike this time last year. And we started these conversations and probably have been weeks into them because the Mariners didn't make the deep playoff run. It feels unlikely that all five of those guys will be in the rotation this time around, more than it even did a year ago. Right? We talked about it, like, wow, man, look what you can get back, and maybe these are the hard decisions and the uncomfortable decisions and yada, yada, yada. But it feels now that there's enough water under the bridge, that there's enough time on task, so there's maybe even less player control.
Let me roll you out a different scenario though. What if you just run it back with the same group and hope that you're going to get more out of Kirby with better health this year? You're going to get the Logan Gilbert you expected to get last year. Bryce Miller gets whatever loose bodies are floating around in his elbow cleaned up, and you get, more of the Bryce Miller that we saw in the postseason as opposed to the guy that we saw throughout the regular season. And maybe Brian Wu takes a step back. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that was what you're going to get forever from Brian Wu. That would be awesome, and maybe takes another step forward. Who knows? But all right, let's even plan for some regression from the one guy who was really superlative last year. And then Luis Castillo, you just say, hey, look, let's run it out. Like, there's not in the free agent market, there's not a lot pitching wise. There's like Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly. Like, there's not a lot of guys that really appeal to me looking at the free agent pitchers this year. So I don't think they want to start spending money on free agent pitchers. That is not a Jerry DiPoto thing. They've done it once and couldn't wait to get out of the contract with Robbie Ray. So that's just not the direction I think they want to go. What if you do run it back and just say, hey, look, we're just trying to bridge the gap until Saintcha, Anderson, and eventually Sloan are ready. And we don't need to make a move right now. Let's just wait and try to spend our time trying to figure out what we're doing at first and second and short and third and right.
What about sending off a couple of these top prospects you have, not named Colt Emerson, that may be a little blocked in the infield, and actually make a move for a really difference-making pitcher that has some club control?
So that's an interesting one. So, like, what does that mean to you? Like going out and trying to trade for an ace?
I don't know. And maybe I'm totally confirmation biased, but the Phillies rotation when the Mariners went back there and faced them was like, oh. And I love lefties. I think I'm so excited about Cade because you're going to finally get an ace lefty into your rotation.
I got to tell you, man, I don't see them. You want to trade Colt Emerson and more in order to get
No.
Skubal?
I said not Colt Emerson.
Or well, then tell me what ace lefty you're talking about that you think you could acquire without giving up someone like Colt Emerson. I just don't see that person out there. I don't see how you're able to pull that off. But let's wait and see what this offseason. I will just say this: the starting pitching this past year was good. It was good. 13th in ERA. By the way, they were 5th in WHIP. 13th in ERA. They were good. Maybe very good. I think I can make an argument for they were still very good this year. I don't think I could quite say great, and I definitely wouldn't say elite. And I would say that in order for this team to kind of continue to do what they're supposed to do, I think they need to be great. I don't know if it can be elite every single year, but I think you got to be able to put them in the great category, not just the good category or even very good category, in order for this team to achieve its goals. So come right back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. And then what a day to have Jeff Passan after one of the great baseball games you'll ever see late last night. That's coming up in 20. I'm Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
To be that close, you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie
Betts. That's right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and I've had a couple injuries through the years. As I'm out on the football field coaching and running stairs, I'll feel some of those aches and pains, but you don't have to be a pro athlete to know what I'm talking about. I know that many of you, what is today, on this Tuesday morning here before Halloween, I know many of you wake up this week with painful joints from arthritis, and it affects you and makes it hard to do pretty much anything. It affects your quality of life. Well, if you're in that space, then my friend Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine in Kirkland is ready for your call. 425-823-4000. 425-823-4000. He has seen so many patients through the years suffering from chronic joint pain, and you don't have to live in that pain. Don't let pain stop you from enjoying life. And in fact, Dr. Nelson is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques. Many have jumped aboard the regenerative medicine train lately. This has been Dr. Nelson's heart for over 30 years. And because of it, his tool bag is loaded. Whether it's stem cell therapy, PRP, he's got all the tools to help you with your pain. So don't live in pain. You don't have to. Make the call to Dr. Daniel Nelson this morning at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
At Bible Law Group, we know how important voting is. That's why we're partnering with Seattle's own rock star Aaron Jones to rock the vote Thursday, October 30th at the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Vote and enjoy delicious smash burgers with Aaron and local bands by getting your ticket at bit.ly/BibleRock. If you've misplaced your ballot, don't panic. In Washington, you can still print a provisional ballot online and drop it in any official ballot box by November 4th. When prayer just ain't cutting it for your legal needs, we suggest two things: vote and call Bible Law Group.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Man, what a ball game last night, Brock. Dodgers, Blue Jays, an epic game. Well, more like Ulysses or one of those really long epics because it just like an epic poem. It just kept going and going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. 18 innings, 19 pitchers, Brock. They threw 609 pitches, but the 609th ended like this.
Little ready, kick steals. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Varsho back, near the wall, at the track, gone! Freddie Freeman! A home run to center field. Freeman walks it off in the 18th. Oh, Freddie delivers.
Was Little the one that gave it up to Eugenio?
Yep.
Oh, that guy's hated in Toronto.
He's having himself a tough postseason.
He is.
Now, at least to be fair to him, this was his second inning of work. I mean, he'd already pitched one inning. I'm not saying it's okay.
He was the last man standing, too,
know,
right?
Yeah.
Like, we can't put Little in the game.
Because I don't think Lauer went 4 2/3.
Yes.
I don't even think he was on the ALCS roster. He's in there, gives them 4 2/3 scoreless. Will Klein, 4 scoreless for the Dodgers, ends up getting the win. Shohei was look. If the Blue Jays had won, we'd be talking a lot about Vlad. What a game from him, right?
What
Does
a
it all?
Slide. Holy smokes!
Right?
Just the awareness to be running full speed on that from first base. He's a big man. And then they have the body control and understanding of how to slide and slap that hand down on the plate.
How about the throw he made to third base? I will say, if there is one thing that could be improved in baseball, it would be the accuracy of throws. I'm always surprised at how inaccurate throws are. Like, I know you're gunning for speed. You want to throw the ball as hard as you can to try to get it to the catcher or the third baseman or whatever, but it does often blow me away how inaccurate they are. Like, a good throw would have had Vlad. Just an accurate throw, right? And he'd been out by 5 steps.
Teoscar, right? Like, way
And I look, Teoscar's not a good fielder. But, it does often blow me away how important the accuracy of those throws are. But the real story is Shohei's unbelievable, Brock. Every time he comes up, he's a threat.
Ohtani. Center cut fastball. Ball fly. Shohei. 5-5.
I was in the sports bar watching at that point when he hit the tying home run. And people, it's a cheer but it's really more of just a wow of amazement. Like, what is this guy? How is this possible?
Sports bar or the Crack and Iceplex
bar?
bar?
Sports bar at the Crack and Iceplex, bro. We're hanging out at 32, no big deal. Cecily finished up practice, and I was upstairs having a couple chicken wings and watching watching the game. I didn't say it. You said it.
Are you thinking to make it? They should build some rooms in that place. As much as you're up there, just stay overnight,
dude. I'm there much less than some of the other parents. They need to start offering a rewards thing for some of us.
Well, we'll ask Mr. Passan if he can in any way put Shohei Ohtani into context. We mentioned at the start of the show, I think he's the Bo Jackson of this century. And I think he's undersold. And I think in some ways he may even be underpaid for all that he does and all that he's brought to those Dodgers. And nine at bats yesterday, nine times on base.
Pretty crazy, including 2 home runs and 2 doubles and 4 intentional walks.
Do I dare say it? I'll one up Brock. Are we talking about the greatest athlete ever?
Well,
I don't know. I think there's a shot.
I mean,
I'm
Jordan
not saying he couldn't get there.
Yeah, Jordan was.
Dude, you didn't get to see Bo Jackson. It was absurd.
I mean, he had one
You didn't get to see Michael-
one
you
truly
didn't get to see
great
Michael
year on
Jordan.
the baseball field, and then in football played 4 seasons.
You didn't get to see Michael Jordan in the 80s and 90s.
You want to watch Michael Jordan play baseball?
He's certainly the most. Well, there's a versatility. I don't know. I'm not ready to answer that today.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks got Washington on Sunday. They started practicing yesterday, Brock. Look, one of the big keys for them, they got to get their run game going. It's the one kind of thing that you expected to be better this year that hasn't been. They've committed to it, which is great, but they got to get it going.
It's everything, and I think we're on the right track. We have a probably better focus, better understanding of what we do well and what we don't do as well, how we build things, who's out there, that sort of thing. But I think we don't need wholesale changes. We need to keep attacking it. There's detail involved. There's operation involved. Game plan and scheme, kind of all the above is room for improvement. And I think we saw last game, we took a stride. We just got to keep moving in that direction.
So if the thought was maybe the bye week and all the study will give them a chance to look at it and realize that Bradford is the big problem, and let's make a move coming off of the bye and let's move Sundell there and bring Olu to center, they're not going to do that. I think he was asked about that pretty specifically yesterday, and I think they're going to buy on continuity and believe that is going to be a better fix for all those details than it will be moving the pieces around.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken playing some really good hockey to start the year. More points than they've played games, which is great. Quality victories. They've beaten good teams. Vegas, Winnipeg, Edmonton, all so far this year. Style's been better. They're more physical. They're more rugged. I think they seem to be very well coached, pretty disciplined. Did you notice, remember the coaching search came down to 2 guys, right? Lane Lambert, who they hired, and Mitch Love. Have you seen what's gone on with Mitch Love as he's been suspended by the league, and it turns out there's a major domestic violence situation where each team that was interviewing him was made aware of via letters as they were interviewing him, and that may explain why the Kraken didn't hire him, but it sure sounds like they may have dodged a huge bullet there. But, hey, Lane Lambert's been I got no complaints whatsoever so far. He has been a breath of fresh air.
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Yeah.
Really dumb question?
Super dumb. That's everything you need to know.
Yeah, you can turn the music off now. Super dumb question.
All right.
As much time as you spend at the sports bar up there and at that ice complex, do the Kraken you get a chance to ever watch them practice?
I have, yeah. They do practice there. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's usually in the morning. We're usually there at night. But we were there one afternoon on the weekend, and a couple of the injured guys, I think it was Riker Evans and Jordan Eberle at the time, came out just to do like edge work practice, just skating, because I think both guys had upper body injuries.
Yep.
And I mean, you're 10 feet away, like as close as I am to Lyle, watching them go through their feet. I can make you an argument, Lyle, that forget Shohei Ohtani, every player in the NHL is the best athlete ever. What they do is insane. I can't believe all the various things they have to do in order to play that sport, between what they do with their skates, what they do with the stick, the physicality, the endurance, all of it. They are unbelievable athletes. Short of that, you got to have Deion Sanders on this list. Bump just texted me like, dude, Deion played multiple sports. He was multiple positions in football, multiple sports. Deion is one of the best athletes of all time.
Well, I mean, there's a list of best athletes of all time. But again, Deion had one good season in baseball.
But he did play baseball competently and was an unbelievable cornerback and played wide receiver and kick returner. You got to throw Deion on this list. I don't know whether, I'm not saying that he necessarily tops it, but Deion, Bo, Jordan, every hockey player. I don't know. I'm going to go through a few others and see where Shohei ends up. Jeff Passan was there. He wrote a definitive game story last night. Tremendous writing, and we're lucky to have him next on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
With those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want. This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? It's true. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural and it works. I was finding that my clothes didn't fit as well, so I jumped on the program. I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. It was very safe and a healthy plan.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Stacy here, and I have had a horrible experience selling and buying a car. That's real. So trust me when I say I know a good experience when I see and feel it. Selling that old car or getting a new one from a place you can trust does make a difference. And that's been my experience at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people I'm talking about here. Mark and Chris have been absolutely wonderful. I also met The Way himself. They all care about making sure you have a hassle-free, low-pressure experience. And they mean it, because you can sell your old car to Wayscar Ford, get paid for it that day, and then get a second check when they split the profit of selling that car with you. You can also explore a competitive selection for your new ride and upgrade like I did. I upgraded to a 2025 Bronco Sport, heated steering, all-wheel drive, leather interior. I'm obsessed. Wayscar Ford is family-owned and operated for 103 years in Auburn. Lifetime powertrain on all new Fords, never any pressure. If you change your mind within 5 days or 500 miles, take it back for a 100% refund. wayscarford.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Jeff Passan going to join us here in a moment. Lyle was trying to determine whether or not Shohei was the greatest athlete of all time. It's a great question, Lyle. I'm not poo-pooing the question. I think he's got to be in the conversation because of the versatility and the dominance in both parts of the game. You know, for some reason, when you say greatest athlete, it does seem like we start to drift into most athletic becomes a part of it. Versatility seems to be a part of it. You know, at that point, you have to start thinking about like, you know, decathletes and people that do like, you know, 10 different track and field sports at the same time.
Yeah, or maybe somebody like Michael Phelps would be in there too for how many events he won, or Serena Williams, for example.
Yeah, I think those are, dominance, Jordan, like all of those come up. But all I'll say about Bo Jackson, and we spent a few minutes on Dion earlier. Mm-hmm. Brock, I wish Bo had played later. Just that I could have seen him on TV more, so that his games would have been an even bigger deal, and like there would have been the social media and the videos and the high definition, just everything else would have been even. Bo was such a fun player in both sports. He was just so fun. And I wish I'd gotten to see more of him. And I wish a younger generation like Lyle had an opportunity to watch him every week as well. He was insane.
Have you ever, I mean, of all of the feats that he did, right? Throwing out Harold Reynolds from 300 and some feet away and, you know, running up the Kingdome Tunnel, running over the boss, like all of these things. Have you ever, I've looked at a fence on occasion there at T-Mobile or at spring training.
Yeah.
When he just ran down the ball and then ran up the fence like a cat.
It is pretty crazy.
At 230 pounds or whatever he was. Like, what? How do you do? That's not human.
I know.
You're superhuman at that point. When Jay Jacobs, the old AD at Auburn, told me the time they took a team picture, and the hedge there is like, I'm not exaggerating, it's like 5 foot plus. I mean, it's a huge hedge by their fence, right? All these SEC schools have hedges, right? Between the hedges.
Gotta have hedges.
And Auburn's like, the biggest and pronounced of all of them on the plains down there. And he's like, oh, yeah. When do we know with Bo? Like when he's in full uniform and we all walk around to go around the fence to the stands, take the picture, and all of a sudden Bo just hops over in full uniform, this 5 foot hedge, like not human, like not
Right.
a normal human being.
We've got Jeff Passan, but apparently he just went to bed like 45 minutes ago. So I don't know. I don't know how long we'll have Jeff for, but Jeff is with us. Good morning, Jeffrey. What a night last night.
¿Cómo está, Miguel?
Tell me you're under the covers still, please. Tell me your head's on the pillow. You're in the cozy Four Seasons down there in L.A. Tell me you're just snug as a bug right now.
Necesito ir al baño.
Jeff,
it's like I woke up and I just, English is a struggle right now.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you want to do the whole interview in Spanish? Is that what you're saying?
No. Frankly, I just don't want to do it at all. But you know what? It's the playoffs. Like we power through. We do things that are not comfortable.
Oh my gosh.
This is your opportunity to take advantage and perhaps ask me leading questions that I should not be answering.
I won't do that, Jeff, because I have too much respect for you. I will keep it very, very simple. I'll ask you a simple question. What did we see last night? What did we just witness?
A baseball game? No, it was, it was one of those games, I think in the same way like the 15-inning game that the Mariners played earlier this postseason, where I think you have to be a particular type of baseball fan to appreciate what it is. And it's the kind of thing that can, in some cases, take years to build, because for a good 10 innings there was nothing in terms of offense. Just goose egg after goose egg after goose egg up on the scoreboard. And, to some people, that's like baseball's kind of boring. This isn't fun. I want to see some offense. But what I saw there was just immense amounts of tension and an understanding and knowledge that in a 1-1 series, that game 3 flips absolutely everything in favor of the team that wins it. Now, I'm not saying because the Dodgers won last night that they're going to go and win the World Series. I'm just saying that teams in their position where it's tied 1-1 who win the third game historically have won 70% of the time. And I think the players knew that too. They knew how important this was, especially a Blue Jays team that now in Game 4 has to face Shohei Ohtani, Game 5 Blake Snell, Game 6 Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and that is, the Dodgers present a really incredible task and challenge for any team. In this case, the Blue Jays for a long time met it, but at the end, they just weren't able to scratch or run across against the Dodgers team, and the Dodgers bullpen in particular that has been very vulnerable in October.
Mm-hmm. Jeffrey, how old are you? Are you 40?
45.
45. Okay, so you're kind of in our wheelhouse as well, and you remember the Bo Jackson phenomenon, the Nike ad,
oh my God,
the football, the baseball, the superhuman nature of them that we've been talking about this morning. Because to me, Shohei is the comp to Bo. Like what he is doing is nothing we've ever seen before. But unlike Bo, who really, when you just said, "Oh my gosh," because you remember that era, it doesn't feel like Shohei gets that "oh my gosh" respect that Bo Jackson did of his era.
I think that's right. And I think it's because we don't know as human beings how to objectively look at things we don't understand. And I say that in all sincerity. I don't think we understand the magnitude of Ohtani. I do this for a living, guys, and I struggle too sometimes, certainly to contextualize it. And I'll be very curious to see what he does tonight when a night after playing 6 hours, 39 minutes, 18 innings, being on base all 9 times, you're up there. He's expected to go on the mound in the first inning and throw and then lead off the bottom of the first inning at the plate. And just saying these things, it makes me go, how?
So baseball question for you, Jeff. If you were Dave Roberts, are you going to keep hitting him leadoff if John Schneider is now determined to just walk him every time? Or I'm trying to think. I get that you want to have him up as much as possible. Maybe it's a big advantage to have him on base all the time. But is there, it seems like the only way to get them to pitch to him would be to have more runners on base in front of him. Do you drop him down in the lineup to hope to get Mookie or somebody else up in front of him?
Conceivably, but at that point, aren't you just cutting off your nose to spite your face a little bit?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, isn't the whole purpose of putting Betts and Freeman behind Ohtani that you're stacking 3 Hall of Famers at the top of your lineup, not only to get the most at bats, but to have guys who are capable of driving Ohtani in rather than prioritizing, whatever they think is the best idea. Where Ohtani bats in the lineup is not of extreme consequence or concern. I agree. I have found it a little bit odd that a guy who, has the power that he does and the skill set that he does is batting leadoff. But I also understand that you get more at bats that way, and it's hard to come to grips with that if you're a strategist who's putting together this lineup and putting together this team right now. Of course you want Ohtani.
I don't know if I want to take advantage of you this morning in the state that you're in.
Do it, Brock.
I am curious if you have taken a look at all at the free agent list. I think Jim Bowden put together kind of some numbers for different deals for different players. And most important to us, I think, here in Seattle, and I think I said this to you last week, I can't imagine 2026 and beyond without Josh Naylor as the first baseman of the Mariners. So I think Bowden had 4 years, $90 million is kind of the structure of a deal for Naylor, which obviously all of us say, absolutely, sign off, do it, get it done now. But more curiously, how many other suitors do you think there will be bidding for Naylor's services along with the Mariners?
That's the thing about it. First baseman in free agency, they don't do great. We've seen this with Pete Alonso. We've seen this with Freddie Freeman. The reason Freddie Freeman is a Dodger is because of the industry aversion to signing first basemen to long-term contracts in Major League Baseball. Now, here's why I think Naylor's a little bit different, or at least should be treated a little bit differently. His age. We're still talking about a guy who's 27 years old. And Freeman, when he signed with the Dodgers, had gone into free agency. I think he was 31, might have been 32, but went into free agency after the Braves did not want to re-sign him and couldn't really find an offer all that substantive. And he almost defaulted to the Dodgers, which in this context is kind of hilarious to think about. This guy who had a game-winning home run this year in Game 3 of the World Series in an 18-inning game. He had a game-winning grand slam last year in Game 1 of the World Series. The notion that this guy would have difficulty finding a home was just illogical, but that's where the Blue Jays are, rather the Mariners are right now. I think that they understand, as great as Josh Naylor was, first baseman's markets in free agency just aren't all that immense. And so 4 for 90, I guess it's certainly more than the 3 for 52.5 we talked about last time, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the 3 for 52.5 was also before the postseason that Josh Naylor had. Yep. And the proof that he belongs in this lineup. It's not that they would like him. It's not that they would need him in free agency. It's that if they don't have him, it's going to feel empty. And after a year like this, that's not something the Mariners want to be doing.
The other choice along those lines is Polanco, who's going to get a raise after what he just did, especially in the postseason, but even throughout the regular season. You want to spend money on Polanco's, age 31, 2, and 3 season?
Depends. Maybe. And I say maybe because the thing about free agency, guys, is that it is always important to look at the universe surrounding what's going on as much as you're looking at little granular things. And a lot of this is ultimately going to come down to how much money Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander have to spend. If they were to go, I'll turn this around on you. If they were to go out there, re-sign just about everyone, and try to run it back, how would you feel about that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure it's one
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I don't.
I want to give runway. You're a draft, develop, and trade team.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That is what you are. I want to give runway to the deepest farm system they've had. And I want to give runway to the Cole Emersons and maybe some of the others and give them an opportunity to be different.
And I want to talk about J.P. Crawford, not necessarily today with you, but in general, I want to talk about J.P. Crawford and whether that's the right fit and whether or not Colt Emerson is coming, or maybe he plays third, or maybe he's a second baseman. Yeah. And what did I just see from Polanco, and can I sustain it year after year? And if I can as a DH, and maybe he plays a little second base at the beginning or on, fine. What's Cal's future? Is he going to DH more often as Harry Ford is playing more? Does that mean that you don't want to spend as much money on a DH, or maybe Polanco's the perfect DH because he can also play second base when Cal, takes over that spot? So I don't know. Just re-rack it doesn't feel quite right.
I get that, but at the same time, man, what they had this October, I know they can get them to the World Series, so maybe I'm just misreading this a little bit, but I thought what they had this postseason was really good and is worth trying to run back, or at least run back the greatest facsimile of it that you can.
I don't think anybody wants to blow this up. That's for sure. It's just a matter of how can you sort of do the tweaks in order to just get over the hump.
Yeah, I will say this, Mike. If the Mariners, for any reason, were to start Colt Emerson, particularly at shortstop, if not at the beginning of the season, then toward the beginning, that tells you the amount of faith that they've got in the kid. And I could tell you with my words, they adore him. They think he's going to be a star. They want to find a way at some point this year to integrate him into that lineup. But when you've come within one game of winning the first pennant of your career, right? When you've come that close in this organization that has been around for half a century now, is right on the cusp of doing something that it's never done, it's kind of hard to run out the next year with somebody who's absolutely an unproven commodity on the big league level and go into the season thinking that this is going to be your solution. I just think it's a risky thing to do. Has it happened? Sure. And will it happen again? Yeah. But to me, if you have a farm system as good as the Mariners do, your mandate is to try as best you can to win right now while integrating in guys slowly, but no Band-Aid rips unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Like 2026 needs to be your focus right now. It needs to be the main focus. It needs to be the target of everything. You have reached a point, if you're the Seattle Mariners right now. I was talking with a GM who I have a ton of respect for around the trade deadline. And he put something in a really interesting way to me, because I felt like there was a little bit of paralysis by analysis when it came to non-Mariners organizations using their models to validate not making trades. And, I was like, when is it right to use a model for decision making? And the way that this person explained it to me is early on, when you're just doing a rebuild or starting to get good, you should go darn near 100% model, because the model is gonna think, and it's gonna show you what to do. And models, they've proven to be pretty right over time. But once you start winning, that calculus changes, and you have to start doing things that are a little irrational, and you have to start getting a little bit out of your comfort zone. And I think too many analytics-based teams have, and not to suggest that the Mariners are that, but they have a good, robust analytics department. I think too many analytics-based teams haven't made that transition smoothly. And to me, what separates good organization from great organization is the knowledge of when you do that, the timing of it, and the execution of it.
Is Cal Raleigh going to be the MVP in a week or two?
I don't know. I would not be surprised at a tie. I don't think it's going to happen just because the math doesn't say it, but let's put it this way. Is anyone else getting a first or second place vote aside from him and Aaron Judge?
No.
And so now you have a situation where a 15-15 tie is a realistic thing. I'll say this, in talking with people, I think there's quite a bit to Raleigh's narrative that is really hitting home this season. I think people love him. They love watching him. They love talking about the power that he has and how great he is defensively and all the things that you guys and I have known for a long time now. But if you have to push me, yes or no, I would say yes.
How long is the nap going to be when this phone call ends? We're looking at 3-4 hours. What we got to do? We got
nap.
Get to
I'm just going back to bed.
Do we get up and get the day going?
Did that make sense, what I was just saying?
Mostly, yeah. You became more coherent as the interview went on, which was good. We were impressed at how you woke yourself up. No, seriously, Jeff, I was thinking about you last night. I was. And read your game story that you wrote, and everyone in the world is sharing it, and for good reason. It is phenomenal. It absolutely captures last night perfectly. It's a great piece of writing. You should be very proud. But I was thinking of you and the rumors that came out last year. Maybe Jeff Passan's going to go try to take Woj's open job and cover basketball, and maybe that would have been fun, and maybe you would have been great at that too. But I was really glad last night specifically that you didn't get or take that job, because that was meant for you. It was just great having you cover it, write about it, and I hope you thought about it a little bit too. I hope that was like, yeah, I'm really glad I'm still covering baseball, because it was pretty sweet last night.
What's the NBA?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. It's just some league where they gamble. It's not a big deal.
Jeff, just go back.
It's like the WWE, except it's a little less fixed.
Yes. And on that note, lay your head on the pillow.
Bye,
you
Jeffrey.
Sweet thing. We love you.
Appreciate you, man.
On that note, if I may, we've reached a point, I fear, in professional sports where the decision makers and the people in charge of the games and the owners and even the players need to start showing some courage and understanding not just what they are doing to to the sports world, into their own games, but to a generation of kids to whom gambling has become normalized. I did not used to be this way until I saw it with the younger generation that my children know. But we've put casinos in their pockets and we're acting like all of this is normal. Somebody with courage and with a spine needs to step up and say that a mistake was made when gambling was legalized the way that it was, in the fashion that it was, with the lack of regulation that it has, and that we are only going to find more of these cases the longer this goes on.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Really do. And great work last night, and enjoy the rest of this series. Been a blast to watch, and obviously we'll check in throughout the offseason. Appreciate it, man.
Gentlemen, I love you, boys.
Oh, look at that. Jeff did have a lot to drink last night. Wow, he's saying I love you. That's a good sign. Brock, I want to talk through some of that we heard. That was hilarious, by the way. That's just hilarious. I got to compose myself. We'll be right back.
In the first minute, you were a little nervous, weren't you? You're like,
oh, I was, yeah. Oh, I was worried this was going to be on awful announcing by the end of the day. We'll be right back on Brock and Salk.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into a huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Carpoolers using the SR-167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having good to go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Between his hobbies and decades of work in a boatyard, Philip had put his body through a lot.
I'm an avid fly fisherman and an avid skier. It takes its toll.
Not to mention one other thing.
I had a near-fatal motorcycle accident. Absolutely obliterated my lower left leg again.
Philip couldn't live with the pain anymore, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Listening to all these radio spots, I said, what do I got to lose?
What was your experience like with Dr. Wagner?
What I was so impressed with Mark about is that how often you have a surgery like this, and the guy calls you the next day to see how you're doing. I can't say enough good things about the guy, honestly.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no pain, none. Zero.
Wow. So would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I'm a fan, believe me. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC.
an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah going to join us in a half hour, Brock, as we, start to... Somebody was suggesting we needed to do like a catch-up on the Seahawks. I don't know. I feel like people still been paying attention. I know the Mariner run was super fun and in some ways all-encompassing, but I think we still got a pretty good idea of what the Seahawks have been doing and all of that. So I'm not that concerned.
What do you think about Pillow Talk with Passan?
Pillow Talk with Passan? That was pretty close. Had me nervous at the beginning, but I think it ended pretty well.
John, we're gonna have to let you go.
Yeah, there was a lucidity issue I was worried about at the beginning.
I was watching your body language very closely. That first, it was a little slurring of that first answer.
There was a hiccup. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little hiccup in there. Like, but all's well that ends well. And honestly, I do mean it. Like, for Jeff getting to be there last night and having his voice and having his words afterwards, I do think is pretty important. Baseball needs people like Jeff. They really do. They don't need young and younger. I know Jeff's 45, but younger compared to a lot of the older guys that cover baseball. They do need young voices to stick around this game, and not just the guys who are working at Fangraphs and some of the more tech-forward organizations. And I'm not taking a shot at those. Those guys are great, and I love what they do. And we all certainly read yesterday their managerial review of the postseason, and they were a little hard on Dan for his pitching moves. In fact, they gave him an F. A little bit better for the other stuff where I think they gave him a B. And I think those are really important organizations. But it's also important to me that ESPN or Fox or these big companies that still where a huge number of people get their sports news and their sports opinions, they need to invest in baseball. And that doesn't mean I need Jeff Passan on First Take. But I do think that days after, like like last night, where baseball steals the stage and shows off everything it's capable of doing, you got to have really great people to talk about it afterwards. And I love that Jeff was available to do that.
I do appreciate, by the way he framed that, because you are a baseball junkie. They don't have to reach out to you. You are a P1 when it comes to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the general sporting audience, and I like the way he said that, for 10 innings, there was nothing. And for the P1s, it was everything. Like, not for, for you, like, oh my gosh, all the nuance, all the decision-making, all the tension, all of that. But for the general audience, sporting audience, that felt like soccer.
Did it?
For the general audience that is not a P1 of baseball, when you see 10 innings of no scoring.
Are you sure?
I think.
Or do we just assume that? Are you sure?
I mean, I'm not sure. I can't speak for everybody in the general audience, but I can speak for, my daughters or people that are kind of just casually watching the game.
I will say my kids were tuned in last night.
Much the same
Stayed
way.
up late. Like
P1s in soccer, Salk, love all
Brock, we're
tension.
talking about sports, not playing the recorder. Come on. Don't bring that up. That's not fair. That's just not right.
Yes.
Oh, man, I was talking about soccer just the other day. Somebody was asking me about playing soccer as you get older. And I was like, don't you stop playing soccer once you're like soccer's great to learn how to play sports, right? To
Great for
learn about
coordination,
running
great
around
for
and coordination.
conditioning. Yes.
But it's kind of like the
Great for
recorder
agility.
in school. I heard you and Brady mentioning the recorder yesterday. Like, it's kind of like the recorder. Like, you play it to learn how to read music and to learn how to, play an instrument. But then you move on to the sax or the clarinet or the piano or whatever. And I feel like soccer's kind of the same way. Like, you learn it when you're little. You should learn how to play soccer. And then, go on to use those skills to play another sport. Like, it's sort of how I see it.
Mad at you. And this is where Here's the Things for. Ladies and gentlemen, go to the app, leave, and download a message for Salk on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll read those.
We call it Here's the Thing.
Yeah, that'll be on Thursday. No, I mean, look, I'm obviously exaggerating that. But the point being, look, maybe non-P1, people who are not obsessed with baseball, maybe you guys were bored last night. If that was boring, then baseball's got a problem. Then baseball can't survive. And I don't see that as a case. I think baseball is absolutely surviving. The numbers have been pretty good throughout this postseason. I think that the drama around Shohei and yeah, maybe you do have to use your brain a little bit to try to think through. All right, what do you do? Do you walk him? Do you not? Do you do this? What if this happens? What if that happens? I think that it would be helpful if the people calling the game went through a lot more of those scenarios, which is what we saw in the Mariner series ALDS. I thought we got a lot of that, as opposed to just constantly complaining about whether or not they're making contact with the ball. Like, let's talk through all the really cool, interesting decisions that are going on in these managers' heads. Let's wonder why the hell they want to bunt to set things up for a guy named Alex Call. What? Like, let's discuss some of that and actually debate some of the conversation. That's what makes baseball so fascinating. But everyone's so afraid to get into that during the games. And, to me, that's the fun stuff of baseball. And last night had a lot of that. Not as much as some other great games. Not as much as that St. Louis, Texas game a few years ago. Not as much as Game 6 of the 86 World Series. There have been other games with more intricate decision-making and it would have been better if somebody scored and then somebody else scored. You got 2 runs, then another 2 runs, and that's why it went 18. But the drama, the tension, the anxiety, the shots of the crowd, Rob Lowe, all of that, I thought really added to the whole thing. And I get it. I love baseball. I'm sorry. I love the sport. We don't need...
Was it Lisa Hart? Is she down there by home plate, too? I think she hung in for was that her name?
I don't
Inside
know.
Edition?
Mary Hart. Mary Hart. I think it's Mary Hart.
Somehow not aged. Looks exactly the same as she did in the 80s.
Hey,
behind
it's
home
weird
plate.
how that happens. And they're going to get Diane Cannon out there, too. She's at a Laker game. I love the game, man. And I look at last night as being a tremendous advertisement for it. I really, you caught me by surprise by wondering whether or not other people don't see it that way, because I just thought it was
Jeff made
awesome.
that point, right? Like he makes that point. And again, the more audience you can bring into that, that's what you're saying. And that's where the Passans and the Busters and the people that have been lifers in this, they got to just continue to bring that conversation. Oh, by the way, the numbers, as you said, have been great.
Mm-hmm.
They've been really great, through the playoffs and into this World Series. And a star like Shohei doing things that even Jeff Passan can't put into context. Even he can't do it, Salk. 6 hours and 39 minutes he played last night. He was on base 9 different times. And today he's going to come out and he's going to shove 100 miles an hour as a starting pitcher and then hit leadoff in the bottom of the first. In what world are we living in? Like, what level are we playing in? He looks like some of these kids you see on the circuits.
Yeah.
Where you're like, wow, that one's
right. He's too big for this age level.
Can I see the birth certificate?
Right.
There is no way he's 12.
Why is he shaving at 9 years old? What's happening out here?
Yes.
No, you're right. And that adds something to it. And look.
And you genuinely, truly have no rooting interest?
I said last night, I have found myself a little bit rooting for the Dodgers. Not a lot.
Okay. All right.
I think last night I really did want to.
Does it surprise you that Lyle's got a rooting interest? Does it surprise you at all that Lyle's got a
Lyle's
very
rooting for the
strong
Dodgers, right?
Oh, very strong rooting interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't buy into that. I'd like to see the team that beat me go on and win it because I think there's a little to it.
No. I don't want to have to swallow that pill all offseason thinking about what could have been. And also, I think I talked about this last year when the Yankees were on their run. I might be in the minority for this. I just root for the high payroll teams to win because you're rewarded for really, really going after it.
Yep, so that's how Lyle feels.
None of that is a surprise to me at all. Yeah, that all kind of checks out. I think I did. I did find myself rooting for Teo, who I love. I just like Teo, man. I just like that guy. He had a really good game last night. Came up with a couple of really big hits. He had a couple of those Teo swings where you're like, whoa. Oh boy.
You know what's crazy is we talked about humility earlier in the show, and it just got you off your rocker as well, just laughing and giggling. Doesn't this Dodgers team is for as big a stars and Hall of Famer? Like Mookie Betts, pretty humble dude, man. Freddie Freeman, pretty humble dude. Shohei Ohtani, really humble, gracious guy. Like for as high a payroll and as big as stars and everything else. And maybe it starts with their skipper, too. I think he's a pretty selfless, like, he didn't make it about him, Dave Roberts. Makes it about others. And I think there's probably a little secret sauce amongst all the other talent that they do have that they really seem to be a pretty good group of dudes, too.
Last thing I'll say on this, and then DJ's going to join us here in about 20 minutes. I started the show and talked about this a little bit there. And this has been a long-standing take of mine that I'm going to give once again. Rather than complaining about how late the games go, and they do go late, and I obviously have sympathy for anyone on the East Coast for whom that game ended near 3 o'clock last night. I mean, that's absurd. That is too much. I get it. But the whole idea of constantly saying, oh, the kids can't stay up, it's not true. It's the parents who generally can't stay up who are blaming the kids and using that as an excuse for why they couldn't stay up late enough to finish a game. Also, if you let your kids stay up, it will create a core memory or could create a core memory that makes them fall in love with the game. I know for me as a kid, every time my parents let me stay up late to watch a big game in any of the 4 sports, it felt like it was of enormous importance. And I would absolutely credit that as part of the reason I grew to love sports as much as I do and ended up getting into this business even one day. My kids stayed up last night. Actually, they both eventually put themselves to bed. They're like, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I can't do it. But that was pretty late. That was like 16th and 17th, I want to say. They both finally tapped out. But, like, I hope they remember that, like, yeah, you could stay up late. We can stay up till 11, 12 o'clock and watch this game tonight because it's important. It's special. It's the World Series. And, like, yeah, you get to stay up late. It's more important than tomorrow's one day at school. So considering the number of ways parents take their kids out of school now to go to travel tournaments and everything else that is more important than school, you can't let them stay up late one night and watch the freaking World Series? Spare me. That's a bunch of baloney.
Sean Payton is a bully.
Bump and Stacy.
He went out, tried to bully Russell Wilson on the low.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
I don't care how you feel about Russell Wilson. I think that Sean Payton, he saw an opportunity to take shots at a guy that he felt like wasn't going to say anything back to him. I've heard that he's a decent guy, but in that moment, that was some bully activity right there. Russell, I'm proud of you. Clap back at him and called out some facts, too. So I'm proud of Russell in that moment.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
You know, Molly and I were just talking the other day about assuming and how dangerous assuming could be in so many different ways. And if you find yourself assuming you've got the right insurance and you really don't know, then you need to do what Molly and I did and so many of my family and friends have done, and that's take the First Mark Insurance Challenge and find out. We heard so many of these First Mark Challenge victories that not only saved people thousands of dollars a year, but they knew it brought them comfort. There was no more assumptions. And I am glad we finally took the challenge, and now it's your turn. Here's how they do it. Here's how they go to work for you. They fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. Then, well, unlike you and me, they go to the market with dozens of major carriers they have worked with for years to find you the best fit. That is it. No stress, no confusion. FirstMark's your teammate, and they spent the last 3 decades helping thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance. So don't wait. Stop assuming. Take the FirstMark Challenge. Did I mention? It's totally free, and you might be the next FirstMark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. It's all right there. Firstmarkinsurance.com. Your teammate that goes to work for you.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire's Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The big box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated, and you're in big box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's game time, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are lining up with a roster that's built to dominate the field. The gas-powered RAV4, built to power through every drive, rain or shine. Or switch up the play with the hybrid RAV4, versatile, efficient, and always moving the chains. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and clutch when it counts. And now, taking the field, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for the big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have your winning ride. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, today, Brock, I'm really glad that I didn't take today off. It was nice to be off yesterday. Appreciate a day to just kind of, recharge the batteries. But coming back in today to get to talk about a game like last night, that's why you get into this business to begin with, man. What a tremendous sporting event, baseball game, epic battle, all rolled into one tremendous package that took only 6 hours and 39 minutes to finish up. 609 pitches, 19 different pitchers, some of whom you've probably never heard of, and it all ended with Freddie Freeman.
Little ready, kick steals. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Varsho back, near the wall, at the track, gone! Freddie Freeman! A home run to center field. Freeman walks it off in the 18th. Oh, Freddie delivers.
Yeah, there was excitement, but probably more relief, I think, than anything else. You really don't want to lose and spend all of that time. And by the way, the 3, 4, 5 overtime hockey games are kind of the same way, right? Where they just take so much out of you that you want to at least come away with a win in that situation. I feel like that's kind of what Freddie was saying at the end to Buster Olney.
What was it like to play in that game?
Oh, my gosh. It was awesome because we won.
Yeah. And just the tension of it, and here's a kind of small side of it that maybe no one else thinks about. It's maybe not that important, but think of all the people covering that game, and not just the Jeff Passans and the folks up in the press box. I'm talking about the director in the truck, the producer, the cameramen and women, that they too, guess what they've got to be? On for 6 hours and 39 minutes as well. Like those folks sleeping really, really good still in Southern California, and now got to regroup. And, Shohei's right at the top of that list. And yet another opportunity tonight to do something superhuman, to go from that a night ago
pitch the
to
next
now
day.
Pitching the next day.
Absurd. I was thinking about Freddie Freeman after hearing that sound, and I would imagine at the end of 6.5 plus hours, I would have a splitting headache when that game was done. Of just the amount of concentration that is necessary to play that game, every single pitch. Forgetting about just the physical exhaustion, and they showed him eating fruit and stuff but just the mental exhaustion of focusing constantly for that long.
Yeah.
In the noise. I don't know. I just feel like I would need an Advil at the end of that game. Maybe 2 or 3, or maybe something stronger. Game 4 tonight, as you mentioned, in L.A. Shohei against Shane Bieber.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
We'll talk some Seahawks with Daniel Jeremiah here in a few minutes, Brock. You know what I got to look at is the power rankings. I wonder if they're moving up in the power ranking world today. I would certainly hope so. I mean, they had a pretty good day off, right? They did nothing, and they ended up moving up into first place. So that was kind of exciting, right?
Yeah, the Niners end up losing, and you're tied atop the NFC West.
They fell in the power rankings this week? What are we doing?
Is this your guy from New York?
No, this is ESPN, who takes everybody into account.
What was his name? Norm Schlichter?
I don't know what that guy's name was. I forget. The Seahawks went from 9th to 11th.
That's just...
without playing. They're in first place. Come on, people. That's not right. How are the Seahawks? Does that make any sense to you? They moved down 2 spots?
No, it does not.
They're only 1 spot ahead of the Niners. They got jumped by the Patriots. They got jumped by the Broncos.
Both pretty good wins, by the way.
I know.
And both 6-2.
I know.
Just don't worry about this stuff. It doesn't matter.
I know.
Get so wrapped up in some of these things.
You don't think it matters?
Substance.
You don't think that's what Mike McDonald's focused on this morning?
No.
You don't think he's upset about where they are in the power rankings? That's surprising.
No.
I feel like it's pretty important.
No, and try to ask him about injuries, too. He's really
they don't like
loves talking about
that.
those.
Trade deadline? You can ask him about the trade deadline.
We're always active.
I mean, we're always. I mean, you know how John rolls. We're in everything. We're constantly trying to do what's best for us. Sometimes that's through acquisition.
Oh, by the way, I'll let DJ know this too. I don't know if you were watching. You weren't on Saturday morning, the Indiana UCLA game.
It was not, no.
That Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson were on. But about midway through the first quarter, you know what I heard out of Joel Klatt's mouth? You know, Gus, Indiana, such a testament to culture. When their bigs run and their littles tackle the way
serious?
I'm 1,000%.
Oh, he just straight up stole it?
And he didn't even give DJ credit.
What?
Nor this show.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh, we're getting after him tomorrow.
Oh, well,
Yes.
maybe DJ will record a little message for him.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. DJ's coming up in 10 minutes.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I'm pretty pumped about the Kraken's start. Look, I'm a hockey fan. I love watching the sport. I've been frustrated the last few years that the team, not just that they haven't been good, but I haven't loved the coaching. I have not been thrilled with the style. Don't think they've been tough enough, physical enough, abrasive enough on the ice. And I think you're starting to see more of that. It's still not perfect, and they're not the most talented team in the league, but they started off really well. They've beaten good teams, Vegas, Winnipeg, Edmonton, the latest being Winnipeg on the road, and then Edmonton at home. I don't know. I like what I'm seeing, and I still think that there's more in the tank for them down the road.
Best start in franchise history, Salk.
Yeah, it's true.
Those are facts.
You're spitting facts, big facts, even, Brock. Bigly. That is everything you need to know. A quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Brock, I watched Shane Prante shoot a 65 again yesterday. I really feel like I shouldn't keep doing this. Like, it's absurd to watch, except that it's not because it's effortless. This guy.
This is a club pro down there at your course?
Yeah, he's at the home course. And
the two places that you frequent north to south, it is beautiful. The Kraken Ice Complex.
I hit both yesterday.
If you ever want to try, I wonder if I could ever see Salk. Like all these people that were stalking Brian Kelly when he went into his last team
you can
meeting.
find me at the ice complex.
And they're videoing him and his car pulling in and his car leaving. If you're ever like, golly, I'd love to run into Salk at some point in my life, just hang around the home course in the Kraken Ice Complex.
Those
and
are
it's
100%
guarantee.
Home course
you're
on Fridays.
See our guy Salky.
And the ice complex, all the other days.
Yes.
I don't know. Somebody found me a dough zone up in the new dough zone in Linwood over the weekend, which was nice. Came over to say hi. It was very
Is
nice.
That dumplings?
Yeah, soup dumplings, man. Those are really good. The Shaolin Baos, those are real good.
You think DJ stayed up for 6 hours and 39 minutes watching the Dodgers?
Hate watching the Dodgers?
You think he was hate watching?
I think he did. I'm gonna guess he hate watched the Dodgers. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. We'll find out, and then we'll talk some football with DJ next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
The LJ way is. You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there, and it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with, and so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
At Bible Law Group, we know how important voting is. That's why we're partnering with Seattle's own rock star Aaron Jones to rock the vote Thursday, October 30th at the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Vote and enjoy delicious smash burgers with Aaron and local bands by getting your ticket at bit.ly/BibleRock. If you've misplaced your ballot, don't panic. In Washington, you can still print a provisional ballot online and drop it in any official ballot box by November 4th. When prayer just ain't cutting it for your legal needs, we suggest 2 things: vote and call Bible Law Group.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesport.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
You're losing your hair, and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, going to wrap up our day, Brock, with Daniel Jeremiah, the great DJ who joins us weekly, and great opportunity to talk some football, but also other things. Did you stay up late, hate watching the Dodgers?
I hate watched it for 17 innings, and then and I'm like, I think you could have played 30 innings. Toronto wasn't going to score. They had so many guys out of the lineup. I mean, Springer gets hurt, then they pinch run for the little stubby catcher, and then you get, I think there were 2 other guys. Barger, I think, was out. I mean, the lineup was, it's like you got, has Vlad come up? He doesn't come up for 2 more innings. Okay, well, they got no shot until he comes up. So it was, trust me, I've just seen so much of the Dodgers over the years. I knew how that was going to end. I made it 17 innings and then decided to go to bed and wake up and see the news.
What would you counsel Mariner fans? Where do you fall in this, DJ? Yeah. Do you root for the team that beats you, or do you want that team that beats you to get the snot kicked out of them?
I think you recognize the Dodgers for the evil that they are, no matter who knocked you out of the playoffs, and you have to root against them.
Had a feeling.
Look, I don't know how to take my fan hat off on that one. I mean, I don't know. I think it's all loser talk. I mean, I've seen the Padres when they got knocked out of the playoffs by the Dodgers. Dodgers go on to win the World Series, and the Dodgers go on this media tour after where they're making fun of the Yankees defense and then saying that they knew once they beat the Padres, that was the World Series. So I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't do anything for me. And then I've seen it when we lost to the Phillies, and then the Phillies go and blow it later on in the playoffs. So it doesn't matter. That's what it is. But I will say this: I do think I'm coming away with some baseball theories that I'm curious to see if you guys think it translates to other sports. Which is, there's almost like two different things. There's regular season sport, and then there's the playoff version. And I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can mimic what playoff sports is all about until you're in it. So the whole goal as a franchise is let's get in there every single year, and then hopefully one of these years you get a bounce or you get some breaks, and then you go from there. But the experience is massive.
So what you just said is what Jerry DiPoto tried to say a few years ago. That teams that win,
when he talked about the percentage,
yes, yeah, when he said teams that win 54% of their games tend to make the postseason almost every year, and once you get in, then you got an opportunity to go win. He didn't necessarily phrase it the way you just did, and it got taken a little bit out of context, I think, and people said, wait, you're only trying to win 54%? He's like, no, but if you can keep that as a baseline, you're going to give yourself a chance to win every year. But I think that is true to an extent in baseball. I think it's true to an extent in hockey. I don't think that's true in basketball or football.
I don't think you know what you need in the postseason unless you're in the postseason. It's almost like it's an X-ray machine for your organization to get into the playoffs. And it's like, okay, well, we need some of this. Maybe we rebuild a little bit based off of that.
But I don't think that's true as much in the NFL or in the NBA. Like, you got to be one of the best teams in the league 9 years out of 10 in order to win in those two leagues, don't you?
I mean, I think it is. I think it is a little bit different. I just think that maybe it's just because the pace of football is so different than baseball, where I feel like baseball, that the pressure mounts a lot more than it does in a football game. Football game is just moving. You start the game and you're going. Whereas every at bat is 3 deep breaths, and it looks like these guys are ready to have a panic attack when they're up there. I don't think you can mimic that unless you've just had a bunch of at bats in the playoffs.
I got a good buddy, and I think he's probably listening right now, that's texted me multitude of times over the playoff run, and he says along those lines, DJ, like it's like these golfers. They can win tournaments, but go play in the Ryder Cup, and they just turtle. Go play in the Masters of the lead, and they just turtle. Like, they're really great in their process and their tournaments, but you ramp up the pressure, and some aren't capable of handling that pressure in those moments like they are in the regular season. And I do wonder if there's some of that. I mean, we watched guys for the Mariners who had great second halves who just could not function in the playoffs, look like totally different players. So I wonder if that's an element of as well.
Yeah, I think you could almost just look at last night's game as the microcosm too, though, which is, that game ends earlier, and Freddie Freeman's 1 for 6 or something,
right?
And you're like, oh, he didn't meet the moment. Well, no, what happened was he just kept getting so many more opportunities. Eventually, he got the opportunity, he cashed it in. So, I mean, I think that's a little bit of it.
Well, and those guys, similarly, right? If I understand what you're saying, because I've said something similar. Like, all right, if your 7, 8, 9 guys didn't perform well in the postseason, is it because they weren't good enough, or because they were cold for those 2 weeks? Like, I don't know how we know.
That's why to me, like take it back to the Padres side of things, but people were crushing Fernando Tatis because he was terrible in the playoffs. And I'm like, okay, well, previously he was like a 500 hitter. Last year in the playoffs, he was the best player in the series with the Dodgers, and then he played 3 he had 3 down games against the Cubs. Ohtani had won a whole series and didn't do anything. And now it looks like he can't make an out. So is he the most clutch, best player in the history of mankind, which we're seeing in front of our eyes? Or is he the guy who couldn't hit in the previous series?
DJ, did you have posters
I think you got to be in there.
You have posters in your room growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Damon had the most amazing room. And a little humble abode that I grew up in that Salk likes to make fun of, 1,100 square feet. Damon had his room. Luke and I shared a bunk
Brock's
bed.
double wide that he likes to talk about. He could barely.
And then when Damon graduated, I got to move into his room. I kept the Elway, the Marino, the Field Generals posters, the Land of Boz, all of them. But the Bo Nose one, right, with the bat and the shoulder pad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got in a conversation earlier. Is Shohei the greatest athlete this century? And should we be making more comparisons to Bo Jackson?
I struggle with the athlete word with him. I mean, I think he's the greatest baseball player that I've ever seen and probably will ever see. Nobody can do that. I think of athlete, I know he can run, but he doesn't play defense. And I look at Bo Jackson and I just think of everything that he could physically do. And I just think of him as athlete, football player, baseball player, but just athlete. Whereas Shohei, I think of, he's a physical freak who's a phenomenal baseball player.
Does it change if the question is he the best pro athlete we've ever seen? Because pro athlete, I think we use as more of like a catch-all term for everyone who plays sports professionally, as opposed to who's the most athletic.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just when I hear most athletic, I just think if you can, I just think of Michael Jordan and how you move, and Bo Jackson, how they moved. And I just think Shohei's a big, strong, powerful, engine, that he is out there on the field.
Greatest athlete you've ever scouted. Greatest athlete you've ever scouted in your 20 years of doing it.
Greatest athlete I've ever scouted. I would say Calvin Johnson's pretty high up there. I mean, I just remember seeing him move and thinking you're not supposed to move like that at that size and not have any stiffness to you at all. He was pretty incredible.
All right, let's talk some football, DJ. And don't, I know what the easy answer to this question is, so don't give me the easy answer, okay?
Okay.
In the last 3 weeks, the Seahawks in the ESPN Power Rankings have gone from 8th to 9th to 11th. During that span, they're 1-0, where their defense put an absolute whooping on the Houston Texans. Without saying, well, power rankings are dumb, and it's just without that, because I know that's true. Why are they slipping in the power rankings when they feel like they're getting better and better, and people should be recognizing this?
I think power rankings are about the stage as much as they are about the team. I think it's who's on the bigger stage at that moment, who's caught the most eyeballs with what they've done. And to me, one of the compliments you could give a team is that they can be boringly good. You can dominate and not be on center stage and not have everybody, watching it, and it can kind of slip under the radar. I just think power rankings are about what grabs your attention, and that's where you see the fluctuations, with some teams vaulting up over others. So that's just my take on it. I did do some homework, by the way, for you, Salk. We had this conversation about the trading Reek Woolen.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could get a guard. So I said, okay, I need to see how desperate the need is. So I went back and I watched a lot of Anthony Bradford, including all of his pressures that he's allowed. Not good. It was tough. And I tried to categorize them when I was charting them and going through it. And I was saying, okay, so there's different ways you can get beat. A guy can, change a direction. A guy could cross your face. Okay. That's an issue. You could have a mental error where you're not seeing a twist or you're not picking things up. So it's a little bit of a mental bust. So he has a couple of each of those. You have some on the edges where guys just kind of beat you right off the snap, off the edge a little bit. There's 3 of those, but man, I had 6. If you add them all together, it was 9 of those pressures were just pure power or him just lunging and ducking his head and getting beat right now. And that's the worst way you can lose as an interior offensive lineman. Compare that. Let me look at Gray Zabel's, because Gray Zabel, I think, was second on the team with pressures. And when you watch his pressures, he's attached at all times. Some of them I think shouldn't even be labeled as pressures. But if he loses late. There was some mental errors early in the season, which he cleaned up as you were going through it. But there's different ways to lose is what I'm getting at. And he is losing a way that's not it's no bueno going forward. So I would agree with you and see that as maybe a little bit more of an aggressive move to try and shore up that position.
And is anything going to be available? I mean, that's always the part of it, right? We do this all the time, and in baseball, especially in the off season and through the trade deadlines where there is so much more activity. Do you get any sense now, 1 week away, that then there is a solution on the other side of that equation?
I think there's, and I don't know the names, but I think there's opportunities to try, and I think there's some that you can get for minimal, on some bad teams. Take a shot. I'll be honest with you, that doing the Charger games. If you'd have told me before the season that Bobby Hart was going to be starting games at right tackle, I would have said, "Oh man, the sky is falling." Like he's their 6th offensive tackle that they've played in this year, and he hadn't played in a couple years. And I'm watching him every week, and I'm going, he's hanging in there. He's hanging in there. He's actually played decent football, played solid football, more than decent. And I'm like, sometimes you got to just give other guys a chance. If you know what you have is not good enough, then you could say, okay, we're trying to find this great upgrade. Well, maybe just somebody new environment, new coach, and maybe you land on something there.
When you were going through the guards, and thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
That's the kind of love.
Appreciate
that I
it.
have for you.
I appreciate it. And unfortunately, we showed you so much love last week that I think it worked against us. I'll get to that here, or against you, really. I'll get to that in a moment.
Oh boy.
As you were watching the guards, did you notice anything at center? Like, were you able to pick? So you have to really focus on one person at a time.
I was locked in on those two guys.
I'm just sort of curious. Like, it's so interesting watching this team. Like, the one thing they really wanted to get better at this offseason was running the ball. It's the one thing they haven't gotten better at, and yet everything else they've gotten better at, which is awesome. Yeah. And it sort of really made up for it. We were spending some time earlier talking about the absence of DK Metcalf maybe being part of the reason that JSN has blossomed this year the way he has. Not that it hadn't started before this season, but I wonder how much like being relied on to be the number one guy as opposed to maybe having to defer to someone like DK. I wonder how important that is for the development of a player like him.
I think that's interesting.
Here's the comp. The comp I was making earlier is like every NBA team has a top scorer. Everyone's got somebody who scores 25 a game, even the bad teams. But if your 25-point-a-game scorer isn't as good as my 25-point-a-game scorer, you're not going to be as good. And maybe JSN is a better lead guy than DK Metcalf is, or at least for this team and this fit, maybe it allows him more space to grow into being that player.
Yeah, I think you kind of open the lane, so to speak, and then see what you can do with it once you've had that lane. If you're thinking about an analogy kind of running around a track, you kind of open up that inside lane and see how fast you can go when you get down there. And he's been excellent. I thought you were going to go somewhere with the run game when you were talking about that, because I was curious a little bit of what they're doing, because you talk about that being a little bit disappointing. Mm-hmm. So I watched all their explosive runs, and then I pulled up all their stats. So they're 60% inside zone, outside zone, which isn't a surprise with Kubiak. With what they're doing there. And, you'll see some lead stuff in there with the fullback. I wish they would run more, pin and pull stuff and toss and get him out on the perimeter. They had a couple of those that have popped. I'd like to see some more of that going forward. But I was curious how that would compare to Indy. Indy, just with Jonathan Taylor, looking at what he's done and how successful he's been with that group. And it's a little bit of a different makeup of that offensive line. But they're 37% inside zone, outside zone. So there's different ways to do it, and that definitely is their scheme. But you'll see, like Indy runs more traps. There's some creativity and some variety in how they kind of put their whole run game together.
I just shot you a text. Did we play the DJ Open? Did we, Lyle, were we able to fire?
Was that a one and done?
Oh, no, I hope not.
No. Marquis Data is all in on you, DJ.
They're all in on DJ?
By the way, what went bad for me?
I'll tell you here.
It plays into the Open.
It does play into it,
If we want to fire the Open.
I feel bad about this because we were trying to do you a solid. Honestly. Okay. Like, this is legit. Okay. We were trying to do you a favor. And I feel like it backfired. So, let's play the DJ Open so we know what we're doing here.
He's Daniel Jeremiah.
I think he's really, really good.
And he's with Brock and Salk every week during the NFL season.
He could win an MVP.
Daniel's really smart. Daniel's probably the best in the business.
It's time for the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
All right, so you heard that sound from Joel Klatt saying best in the business. So we had Joel on after we talked to you last week, and we're saying, hey, DJ made this great point last week. I think I said it of like when your bigs run and your littles tackle, it really puts you in a great position to succeed, and how you were all excited about it.
Your conviction of your team, all of it's great.
And so we told Joel about that, and he waxed poetically about that for a little while, which was great. And then, unbeknownst to me, and I feel bad, Brock was the only one who heard this. Brock
I was watching.
Saw it.
I was watching.
I guess on Saturday during the
second
game.
quarter. About second quarter, Indiana's, I think at this point, 35-0 thrashing UCLA.
He straight up dropped your line without any credit.
Yep.
Did you have audio of it or no?
I don't know. I don't think there is audio. I don't think anybody watches those games, so I don't think there's any audio of it.
Can I tell you the backstory?
Oh boy.
So I talked to Klatt last week on the phone, and I told him about that thing. We had that conversation, so I think he got it from Mark. I told him, and he said, "Oh, that's great. That's great. Really cool." And then he asked me, "Can you come on my podcast?" And I said, I'm a little busy, but feel free to use that line on the air.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
So he's a man of integrity. He, and I don't need attribution. We're just trying to put good. We're trying to create little things and get like trust our eyes, trust our guys. Like these are our unique little things. We just want them to catch on.
Yeah,
we're not.
I was sort of hoping it would be like I heard that from Daniel Jeremiah on the Brock and Salk show. I mean, like, right? It was really about us. I mean, like you were an unwitting participant.
But make no mistake, still bust him the next time that he comes on.
Yeah, we will.
In between his push-ups,
tomorrow.
just see if you can get
It'll be tomorrow at 8:30. We'll have that
tomorrow.
conversation with him. Yeah.
There you go.
You know what else was fun, DJ? We had Hasselbeck on yesterday, and he went further into depth of what this system is doing. And we kind of did our midseason takeaways. And it's not quite midseason, but it is for the Seahawks coming off of their bye. And I'd be curious from your optics. This is our 7th show or 8th show this year. I'm just kind of curious if you were to give your 2 biggest first half takeaways, 2 or 3, of the Seahawks through 7 games and heading into Sunday Night Football, what would be atop Daniel Jeremiah's list?
Number 1 would be Salk was way wrong on that one practice observation of Sam Darnold during training camp, and he is more than fine and an upgrade over what they had previously at the quarterback position. They're set. They're in a good spot there. So that would be the first one. And then the next one would be I think you're seeing this defense kind of really, really emerge. And to me, it's it's just the sum of guys that they have, the depth of guys that they have that they can roll out there. Those would be kind of my 2 takeaways. Quarterbacks playing really well. Obviously JSN is a headliner, but I think to me, the more important thing is that Sam is established himself in a consistent way. And then to me, it's just that front. So many guys that can roll through there.
I'd agree with all that. To be honest, I'm no joke. I would agree with you. I was absolutely wrong. Well, not with what I saw that day. He was not good that day. But in terms of trying to read too much into it, yes, he's a clear upgrade over Geno Smith. And that was something I really, really like. I was gung-ho on moving on from Geno. And what Darnold has done has been tremendous, man. It has really been fun to watch, his ascension and just his fit. You guys have talked about fit a lot. It just feels like he fits very well with what Kubiak wants to do.
Yeah, and we've used this word on here every week, and Brock just mentioned it a minute ago, but when you've got a quarterback that's playing with conviction, and you can live with a mistake here or there, but man, he's playing with absolute trust and conviction. That's a fun place to build your offense from. You see it around the league with other guys who don't have that, and it makes it very challenging.
Hey, real quick, what's going on with the Commanders? That's what you're going to see on Sunday. Like, they're supposed to be good. They're not. What's happened there?
Well, I think last year, and I think you're going to see it a little bit this year. I was talking with Brian Baldinger about this, that, man, sometimes the schedule in the NFL right now, just with the way it is, with some teams being down, like last year, it lined up beautifully for them. I mean, the Patriots are having a great year right now, but look at their schedule and look at what's in, like, it lined up for them perfectly. They squeezed everything out of a lot of rental 1-year veterans last year that all kind of found a way to have a year above what was expected from them. So I think they were just way ahead of schedule with what they accomplished last year. And then you get Jaden Daniels, who hasn't been out there, hasn't been healthy. And, the biggest takeaway from me is that if you look at their drafts before, Adam Peters and Dan Quinn got there the previous 4 years, I mean, there's no core. They had been so bad drafting that the guts of that place was not in a good spot. So they bring in all these outside rentals, and it all worked for them last year. The schedule lined up, the quarterback was healthy, and I just think that was kind of a genie in a bottle type thing last year. And you're seeing this is probably more the normal course you would take with where they were.
We only got about a minute or so here, and where maybe Salk's projection was a little wrong on Sam, and that's fine. You were absolutely right, Salk, early on in reading Mike McDonald and how much he liked this team. And we've said it to him 2 or 4 times over the last month or so. You just feel like you like this team. He kind of hinted at it yesterday, talking about the conviction they have. But he's got a term, and it wasn't his term, DJ. And I'm just curious how important you think this is. It was the locker room that came up with mob ties. Mission over BS. And
interesting.
Mission over all the other stuff. And I don't know how you quantify that, characterize that, and even from your optics, if you can see it through the game tape watching these guys this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think they play unselfishly, and that goes back to, the line that Joel stole from me. But that's just that's how they play. They play as a collective in a passion about what they do, just try and do your job, not somebody else's, discipline from that standpoint. I think I just wrote that down. I really actually like that, mission over BS, but that's a very fair.
No, it's mob ties. It actually originated with Chauncey Billups. And then the Seahawks ended up taking it and using it for themselves. All right.
So hey, by the way, we had in the pregame, we had a break in it, and Money was doing a hit back into his radio show because it was a Thursday with Petros. And I literally hopped on. I grabbed the phone from him and I said, "Petros, we still on for cards tonight?"
DJ, we're going to go. So do you. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, man. As always, there goes Daniel Jeremiah. I see Bump. I see Stacy. That means they must be coming in next. Come on, man. That joke wrote itself. You had to say it, right?
I see London. I see France. I see ants in your underpants.
I mean, that one had to be written. You had to say it. You don't really have a choice. All right, Bump and Stacy coming up. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We will confront Joel Klatt. We'll see what Shohei does tonight. And we'll talk to you then. Until then, the Hay
Barn.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Sean Payton is a bully.
Bump and Stacy.
He went out, tried to bully Russell Wilson on the low.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
I don't care how you feel about Russell Wilson. I think that Sean Payton, he saw an opportunity to take shots at a guy that he felt like wasn't going to say anything back to him. I've heard that he's a decent guy, but in that moment, that was some bully activity right there. Russell, I'm proud of you. Clap back at him and called out some facts, too. So I'm proud of Russell in that moment.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Slowdowns and delays have you rethinking your trip? Well, there's an easier way to fly. Seaport Airlines flies TSA free with service between Portland Business Aviation and Seattle's Boeing Field. No delays, no stress. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
Change is always happening,
It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees. Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle.